Jason down at CRM. Robert Dix Jr. If you were, hello.
I'm muted. We're live. You were talking though, Paul. Back as you were. I'm still getting things dialed in.
You're dialed in. We're dialed in. We got Robert T. Leary with us starting out the game. How you doing, Robert T?
Hello out there in television land.
We're actually in television land, Bobby. Awesome job. Welcome to BSP Productions, and we're doing a little game. What do we call this, Greg?
Watch parties, I guess.
Watch party. We're having a watch party, Bobby.
Nice.
Modern technology. Who would have thunk this 20 years ago?
The watch party is live.
It's live, too. Yeah, that's the coolest. As far as what we were saying is we got the Swarm against the Mammoth. Big game. The Swarm are 5-3. The Mammoth are 5-4 on the season. We got the legend, the Wall, as they call him, Dylan Ward against the young Dobson, second-year goalie Dobson. So
these guys are both field goalies as well.
Yeah.
So that's a little different.
Great in the field too, no question.
Yeah, that's
an awesome.
Yeah, I don't know much about the field game. So Ward, he's one of Canada's field goalies as well. So I mean, it's not like he's just sloughing around.
No, I believe he was on
PLL goalie.
Oh, he's PLL too. Yeah. See, that's how much I know about things.
He's what, 35 years old?
He's a little less than 60, but he's still his best years are behind him, but he's still playing at a high level.
I was just as far as size wise, he's not as with the equipment on. He looks like he's got to be about 285, looking like that. But he's 195 pounds. I thought he was a little bigger than that.
He's a big guy.
That's still a big guy. He's tall. No question.
He gets down to the butterfly, and his shoulders are still up above the net.
Yeah. Yeah, look how tall he is. He's a big man.
Oh, big save there. A couple of them.
You guys must be ahead of me.
Uh-oh.
I can't see a thing.
I can't see a thing.
So, Bobby, how's the Generals looking?
Well, we've had a whopping 2 practices because we got school canceled and stuff. But
right.
You know, we're undefeated. So is everyone else. So hopefully you're optimistic at this point in the year, right?
Exactly.
We're good.
How was the fall ball season?
We got 35. We got some good mid-year pickups. We're really excited for what we have. What we're trying to get done.
Off the crossbar. Look at that save by Dobson. Spun around. That's a big.
Nice transition, pushing it up the side.
Yeah, you're ahead of me, Greg.
I'll try to keep quiet. I'll just tell you, keep your eyes open.
No. You keep. You do what you do. I love it. That makes it more suspenseful.
That Caleb Benedict kid, he's a young kid playing for the Swarm. He's had a couple goals. What has he got? 2 goals, I think, now? We grabbed his first one, made a little highlight of it.
Is that Mike Benedict's boy?
No, I don't think so. So Andrew Q is out tonight with the flu, and Adam Wiedemann with the finger. So the flu and the finger got him out for the count.
Yeah, She's just saying that.
I was just reading it. I didn't even have the volume on.
Oh, your voice is a little more known.
Whose?
Yours.
No, nobody knows who Blue Squatch is. You guys are the sound of Blue Squatch, the voice of Blue Squatch. Honestly,
the voice. No, that's the awesome part about this right here is being able to hang out. Bobby's getting ready for practice, eating a little bite, watching a little box, and
there's an American field player right there.
Is it Kelly?
Nice.
Yeah.
Kelly, yeah.
So 25.
Huge.
There's quite a few.
Yeah.
I mean, so Bob, how many box players you got on your team?
Oh, we got a few, no question. I mean, Owen Pierce certainly has box experience. Brody Davis has box experience. Beneyetti, both of them. The twins, those guys are both box guys. Casey Ryan, another
Yep.
box guy. We got some, and all of us have some because we were lucky enough to participate in Laxdie, where our location makes it so we can play pickup with Coach Decker's boys and Coach Decker's girls and all that stuff, and we get to give them a box experience while they're learning how to play field. So it's really
any of your guys doing anything like that is what I wonder. That's Miles Thompson.
That's Miles.
Yeah. Miles Thompson on that one. Wow, that was pretty.
That was pretty.
So he's looking better as he comes back.
He's been off a couple of years, right?
Yeah, he had some knee issues, had to get himself in a little bit better shape.
Right.
But
So
and look at that catch though. I mean, the way
That
they
was
just
around the world, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful around the world. Uh-oh, we got puppies grabbing wires. We're going to have puppies grabbing wires. Get out of here, puppies.
I taught him that when I was coaching. Taking credit
That's
for
a
that one.
scramble. That's a scramble drill. Puppies grabbing.
No.
That's what they're
I wanna
saying.
go on
Puppies grabbing
record.
wires.
The things I taught the Thompsons when I was lucky enough to work with the Haudenosaunee was like, what would you like to eat for breakfast? Do you prefer almond milk or regular milk or stuff like that? Really, you can't tell guys who are that natural how to play the game. They know how to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest things you see though is the guys that have the stick. You can't coach that. You said it best right there though. That's just a love for having the stick in your hand and that creativity. So as a coach though, I mean, you guys have both been coaching for years. Where do you say there's room to start some of that creativity with the youth? Because you're never going to coach it in practice. You're never going to really work on that kind of stuff. But where, as a coach, do you kind of let your guys start getting a lot, around that? Or is it strictly, if they score a goal, it's great. But if not, I'm going to tell you should have shot overhand.
Well, I tell you what, I think, one thing that you said there that I'm going to, I think it's fine to coach it. Like, I'd rather we try it in practice. Like, let's say you have a star drill. It's a month until we have a game right now. It's a Friday night. Kids have to sacrifice a Friday night of college life and everything. We might go behind the back in star drill tonight. You know what I mean? Just to have a little fun and let them know we're okay with the creativity. I mean, there's times to do it and times not to. But, why not let them have fun? It's what keeps it from being, you think it's really fun being a center or a guard Monday through Friday when you're just hitting a sled. I think it's really fun on Saturday, Sunday when you're playing your game. But I don't know if that's that fun during the week. I think that's why you get so crazy for football games in like high school and college, But I think we have some creativity in our game that we can exploit,
Now, that creativity, that's the thing that's kind of hard to get guys to work with. You see it a lot with the Swarm there. With Lyle's playing with somebody who hasn't played with him as much, they kind of get that awestruck look as they're trying to look and figure things out. I mean, so actually that's a good point. Get it out of the way in practice. Know what some of these guys have tendencies. Because some guys will throw the behind the back pass, and other guys, like on your team, they're going to do the good old American, spin around, switch to your outside hand, get the ball out.
Right. Well, I tell you what, when you're on Lyle's team, you just expect him to throw it at any time when it doesn't look like he's going to throw it. It might be on the ground near him. You got to be ready for the ball. I mean,
did you see that pass he made last week to his brother?
That you have no idea is there. So
yeah. Did you see that pass last week where he got basically tackled down and then on his back spins around, sees his brother, and throws it up there? It's like, what are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was average.
Yeah, they're okay.
They've done that. Bobby, I got as far as being a college coach, doing the college thing, coaching in regards to recruiting the field player, also going and recruiting the box player. I mean, have you noticed that it's helped out the kids, like you guys were just talking about this, the mind skill and where they take their creativity, has it has it pushed you a little to the more of the box recruiting? Let's go take a look at this kid.
I was an early adapter, so I've been on board.
Right.
You guys both know that.
Well, you've had an advantage kind of dealing with the Haudenosaunee community that most Americans don't have.
There's no question. It's a debt I can't repay either. I mean,
what I want to get to with that question, a follow up on that is, how do you tell these the players, the parents that are sitting there? Well, why am I having my kid play box? They don't play box lacrosse for college. What is their what's the benefit? Versus him playing and going to all these field tournaments. That's what they are going to play in college. It's field, not box. Well, is there any positive, as a coach, what would you possibly say to a parent that not necessarily is negative about box, but is still not quite understanding the importance of the box?
Well, the first thing is, you get so many more touches in a 2-hour field practice and a 2-hour box practice. The boards mean the ball's never leaving the facility, pretty much never leaving the facility. So that's the first thing. The younger, the more important it is when they're still not really good at passing and catching. You're on the field. You spend, at a 20-minute drill, you spend 15 minutes chasing the ball out near the deep grass and 5 minutes having a catch when you put it all back together. So, in the box, that's all chances to get your reps. And then when you're getting your reps, sometimes in field, and particularly when, it's a 100-yard field and you got one athlete's better than the other guys, he could just run through the entire team and go score. And that's not what you're looking for. Hero ball's not going to help you in the long run. Whereas in box, you got to react, and you got to react quickly. And the kids who transition from field, they'll have a hard time with how quick the decisions have to be made in box. But, the other night at pickup, I happened to be Jeremy, my son. Jeremy was moving the ball like it's in his stick and out, bing, bang, boom. And you might not even notice that he did anything, but if you're looking, I mean, he's catching it, moving it. They had a couple tic-tac-toe dunks on the one end, and he was involved in them all, and you're just like, man,
You said around the world, Jeremy has got a great eye, hand, and feel for a stick. He does around the world like it's, for us, we're breaking our back or pulling a disc or something like that, and he's throwing these things around like, and it's great to see, and he's not a young, he's nearing 30 years old now. So, I mean, a young kid that I've watched grow up over the years, seeing his skill. He's obviously always had skill, but it's taken it, from the field now into the box. He's those things aren't normally seen in the field where, he's throwing them off like they're once a day. I practice that, and which he does. And it just makes him that better of a player for having that in his arsenal of shots. It's incredible stuff watching some of these guys, what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, there's so many others. It didn't, it didn't have to be my kid,
No, but, the nice perspective is I remember him the first camp that he went to up at SUNY Poly. Bobby's got him, you're running a camp and your kid's there and your kid doesn't want to be there. And frustration is growing inside the coach because you have, 18 other kids that are ready to rock and roll and your kid's, not wanting to be there.
I would say, though, the passing...
it was a great time.
Passing accuracy, though, has got to be huge, too, because, I mean, when you look at these guys, they really have to kind of... You're threading the needle a lot because you're watching, like, these one-handed passes.
That little shovel pass was a thing of beauty right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
scoop, right there. Cole.
It's crazy.
That's Chris Cole, right? Is that kid's name? He's, yeah. Tearing it up.
Yep.
I tell you, this could be the game of the weekend right here with both these teams. They really need to get things straightened out. Georgia got a win again last week. Colorado got a win again. They're on the roll. I mean, yeah.
I watched the game last week, and how the Rock they were incredible, but Ward had 57 saves.
Yeah.
He was 57, 60, 67 shots, and they only scored 9 goals. I mean, he was making back-to-back. Like earlier in this game, watching this game, the Swarms netted off 4 shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's doing circles trying to find where the hell's the ball.
When Dylan Ward gets going, when he gets red hot like that, boy, you're just like, oh.
Yeah,
It's tough, man. You see some of these saves he makes, and you're like, how are guys going to score?
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Well, they do it just like Cole just did. You got to dive. You got to get side to side and wait till the goalie opens up and
got to do something
find
crazy.
that. Yeah.
You got to move him from side to side. You got to make him move so that you have a chance to.
Well, especially he plays that high angle where if you can get him stepping side to
Yeah,
side,
see
like
where he
that's
gets step there? Yep.
that's 4 steps. Oh, they tried another dive, but as lengthy as he is, you really got to get across. All right, I got to go get a little sip of Jimbo's. I'll be right back. You guys run the
All
show.
right. Yeah, we're chit-chatting away. As far as the boys are up and running. The coaching staff is tell us a little about the coaching staff this year, Bobby.
Oh man, so blessed.
I know.
I mean, I have Scott Petrie, who was a player on the 1989 national championship team. He was here in 92, I think. And also, he's a Homer product, Herkimer product. Then he went to Salisbury. He was captain of the South team in the North-South game, which is a big deal. He was an All-American there. He won a couple more titles. So he's won 3. He takes care of the defense. I have Jeremy on the attack when he's around, and I have Brandon Davis on the attack also when he's around, and those guys are sacrificing their time. They're both very busy. I have Kyle Tritton with the goalies, and now I have Kyrie McLeod as his assistant because Kai's not eligible, not because of grades. His grades are fine, just because he's already burned 2 years NAIA. Right. So he's going to get better as a goalie teaching. And we have 4 goalies. It's a war in the goal right now. He's helping them. We have Dave Sargent, who is Petrie's right-hand man and does a ton of things for us. Nick DiPaolo's our strength and conditioning coach. He's also working with our face-off guys. Those guys have been training with Andy Farrell with his training. So that sort of thing's getting out. We got 2 guys who we're really excited about on the draw. We've got everything covered. So, I've got it to the point where I'm hoping I can just go up to the press box and take a nap. That's my goal. Is they really don't need me.
Well, and that's the nice thing with finally, what is this, year 4 now?
Yeah,
year 4, and that's what you've come back after being away for a while and restoring that Herkimer Generals pride and tradition. And I see it with the boys running. They have that Herkimer swag back.
good.
And it's not a swag; it's confidence. They look
You know
good.
what?
They've been practicing hard.
The last couple of years, we've been pretending a little. The year we had 13 guys, obviously a good team with a lot of depth. We weren't going to be able to match. We had some talent.
Huge difference though from 13 to what do you got now? 39? 35.
So, yeah, no, it is a huge difference. The fact that you can go up and down and go full field, it just means you can practice your sub pattern while you're in practice. It helps so much. But Onondaga is Onondaga, and Genesee is Genesee, and until we compete with them, we're looking up at those guys. And
we were talking about Onondaga the other day. They got who's
Hudson
the
Valley or
they got one of
in
the
South. That's the teams in the Midwest. There's good teams, and we hope to be one of the good teams.
Onondaga's got one of those guys from the the Red Hawks there. Somebody was just telling me one of the what a shot! But one of the junior B guys is playing there. Is it what the hell's his name? I don't know I don't know if they played last year or not. You would know most of those Onondaga guys.
Yeah, no, for sure. And they have talent, no question. And I mean, they have Hussey, and he's a
that's right. I forgot Hussey went over there.
Tried to get him.
Yeah, we're gonna have to send Hussey's not getting any more highlights until the college season's over. He's done. He's on the burn.
He's a good kid.
Absolutely.
No, I love him. He always goes out of his way, says hi too. I like him. He's a nice kid.
Very good kid. Very good kid.
Actually, and DePaulo's a Hudson Falls kid. He right around the corner for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nick DePaulo's he's doing a great job for us, and he's
healed up.
He's grown a lot as a coach over the last 4 years. So he's coaching with Mountain Men.
Are they doing anything with the box down there, Bob, or no?
They do some stuff. They do some sixes. I don't know how much box they do.
Right. It's mainly the Albany Power that are do their thing, from what I've seen.
Yeah,
that tournament.
I think.
Yeah.
Saratoga's got a box. Niski does.
Working his way into that system, they may very well going forward. I think there's going to be some things coming out of that area. You know.
I was talking to Sean Hennessy and when he was up for that winter tournament. Yeah, well, and that's why I mentioned it. I'm all. We're gonna go all. And most of them that were there were all Herkimer guys, so that's a quality feature. Just in the, I forget what the hell I was even going to talk about. This Jimbo is pretty good. Sorry, Bob.
Oh, did he just pull his helmet off? What happened?
I didn't see. Hold on a second.
You'll be.
The goalie's going to the bench.
Yeah, somehow I think Jeremy Thompson ripped that kid's helmet off during the face-off.
I didn't even see any of that.
He's not usually much of a fighter. He must have got angry.
No, I don't even know if it was like an intentional vicious thing. I think it was just like part of the way he was ripping at the clamp.
Ripped out, and the helmet isn't. Well, it's really not attached.
No, a lot of these guys barely got that chin strap sitting there.
Yeah. He's probably got it more.
Style.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Looking at Thompson there. At least his is kind of snug. Most of them, it's a flapper, not even there. It's catching their nose as it's going off.
So they gave him
coming off.
Gave him a hooking penalty.
Hooking, which is probably a good call. He swept through.
Jeremy's sporting the stash.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. The banner is coming off.
Well, I mean, how many of those guys you see got the stitches mid-game or tape on their chin because they just don't have the chin strap tightened up enough, so the helmet pushes up?
Several. I know our guys have, that and the box helmet is clearly different than the field helmet. Actually, we tend to get it right around the eyebrow.
Yeah, well, that's from where it pushes down. That helmet will push down. A lot of hockey guys, you'll see do it. If your helmet doesn't fit you right, and you don't have it strapped up, that kind of stuff happens.
Yep. Sometimes the bridge of the nose is bleeding.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're good tonight. We could actually be. It should be past anybody's bedtime too, so we shouldn't have anybody. The only guy I know that watches our show that's a little younger is muting this but watching the game. Thanks, baby, whoever that is. But
nice save.
Yeah, Dobson. That's Kai's buddy. He's his personal goalie coach.
Yeah. That's it's pretty cool. Is Tan?
Off the pipe. Tan said he was going to jump on. I don't know what happened to him. If he's got a shoot around at 9, but I think it was 9 his time, and he's over in Sass, so he should be a couple hours.
That's almost 3, I think. And that's cool as cool can be.
Yeah.
What's our buddy down in the Philippines? I forget his name. Is it David?
No, I think that's Mike Shishel.
Mike.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes. I mean that's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Every once in a while we get lucky and they're able to click on.
Yeah, we've met some pretty cool people doing this though.
Absolutely nice goal.
Nice goal.
Wow.
Now you're ahead of us.
Am I?
Gotta be.
I don't see
That
a
was-
goal.
Oh, how did I get a hold of you?
There's one.
Oh, yes, it was a nice goal. You are not kidding. Yeah, somehow you got ahead of us.
Aha, I feel better now.
Will Malcolm, that kid's a beast. His brother Tony played for the Firewolves. They were together in Panther City. Colorado did a great job picking him up.
That has been a huge key. He was huge last week. Heck of a player. And takes a beating. He's one of those kids. He's not huge. Just looking at him, and he's one of those kids that just go on there and, they just keep taking a beating and keep on going.
And that body control, though. They're going full speed towards the net, stops, and throws it behind him around the goalie. It's freaking nuts.
And it puts the Mammoth on top. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, right at the end. Tim
End of the
Edwards,
first.
there's a 315 guy.
Where's he from?
Do it. But he's the, what's the do it school?
Do it.
It's do it something else.
Jamesville, do it?
Jamesville. He's a Jamesville guy.
Janesville Delight, baby.
I've never heard it said. I'm not laughing at you, Greg. I've never heard it called do it.
No? What do they call it?
I call it Jamesville DeWitt.
DeWitt?
DeWitt.
I don't know. It looks like
Not
do it
do
to me. Like Mountain Dew with an it on the end of it. And I mean, my 315 pronunciation comes from Necker, so I mean, you should be happy I got the do.
That was
Is there a sponsorship with those guys yet? For God's sakes.
we got to do something with them. What we do is we do it all day long. And I got to put it in front of my dark shirt. There you go.
I don't know why the green bottle's getting picked up by the green screen. That's so weird.
I'm not even near the green screen. I got a gray curtain behind me.
It's picking up the gray curtain.
Yep. So, yeah, as far as the Mrs. Necker's out, and it's just me and the dogs watching a lot of box lacrosse here. Which probably, yeah. And we were talking earlier about Joey Spinella. He's playing, Syracuse is playing Vermont tonight, and he was on fire last I had seen. He had 10 points out of the 12 that they had on the board, and just watching him flow through the box game and also taking it out on the field, some of the stuff that he does, it's not to say unorthodox. It's an athlete being the athlete, and the abilities that he has. To watch him be able to throw a Gary Gate and Paul Gate or Marichek behind the back, where it's a 40-yard on the line laser, right into the box, and somebody's scoring off it. It's pretty phenomenal.
See,
Love
I had no
watching
idea who that kid was until we got to Laxney there, and I watched him when he was trying out
Really?
for the team, and I was like, oh, wow, this kid is pretty amazing. I didn't realize he still had 2 years of college eligibility left either, that he was that young. I mean, yeah, he's going to be special. Stamper, they were talking about him doing the pre-draft. They're talking about he's doing a segment now with like Canadians in the NCAA, but they were talking about him. I don't know. He could be. Everybody thinks he's going to be the next guy. He's going to be.
No, Beecher, he's an American kid.
That's what I mean. He's going to be the next American kid.
Strong
okay.
Island.
Yeah, he's a Strong Island kid. Yeah.
Yeah, St. Anthony's, right? I think he's St. Anthony's.
One of them prep schools.
Speaking of
Bobby,
that,
how's that? Oh, go on. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, because that Long Island NABLL team, I think, is pretty much going to be at ULAX there. Hot Rod's going to be there playing with the Sharkies. So you got the Goldberg kid that's running that team.
Oh, really?
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of talent on that island.
Oh, yeah.
How much are they interested in playing boxes is the question. And that's a good thing that there's enough people that they think they can run a team out of that. They should be competitive.
I think they
Well,
ended
they
up
are.
having
Well-
two teams out of there last year, right?
Well, you got the Sharks, and then you got the not the Warhogs are down there too, though, aren't they?
Well, they're Newburgh.
He's more Newburgh, Connecticut area.
Yeah, so they're up on the other side.
Newburgh's over near Army, like West Point.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got people that's the cool thing about the league. Also, is it's giving guys, there'll be a Yeti. I'm assuming probably making the Long Island Sharks roster with Niles. He's moving down to Long Island, or he's moved down there, and he's going to continue playing. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Niles is down on the island. If you ever down there recruiting, Bobby, don't hesitate to get a hold of him. Bobby, how much Wingate is?
He's behind the goal in this goal zone at the Swarm game. So he's in the goal zone. Kai's down there.
Kai is there.
He's in the comments right now.
Oh, look at that!
Oh,
yeah, goal. Nice cut.
Sweet cut.
I was too busy
Big
looking
Kai,
for Kai.
shoot low.
Oh, Kai's getting food. He missed the goal. That's why he was checking. So now he can watch it on our replay.
Nice.
Oh, man. How fast is that ball in and out of Miles' stick? Just whoop.
There you go. That's the thing we were talking about earlier. And Miles is
He's sitting right behind Ward, too. He would have seen that one. That's Shane Jackson, man. It's hard when you talk about this team because there's so many talented guys. You're always leaving somebody out.
How many from the 315? From Onondaga. You got the two Thompsons. You got Bomberry.
Benedict.
Benedict. I mean, there's so many.
You could say that Barack Wasazi, too. They're kind of both, but still.
Yeah, they went up and played a lot up there.
No, they lived up there for a while, too.
Yeah. Yeah, after what? What a goal! But yeah, so after the Nation School, they went up there because they went to the Nation School first through Onondaga, and then went up there.
Yeah, they were back and forth between Lafayette and Salmon River for a minute or two, and both great programs. I can't really go wrong that way, and
Isn't it
Jimmy
funny
Barr.
though? All these pockets. I mean, that one makes sense, but Long Island, what is their? Is there a big native community down there? Or is it just the island loves lacrosse?
There is a native community down there. It's in Suffolk County. Doc, do you remember the name?
Yeah, that's what sold me on the the name I don't remember. But when we were at the Dirt's tournament for what the hell was that school, Bob? Not Leesmer.
Dowling is where.
Dowling. For Dowling in the park there. They came and they did a smoke dance. It was pretty incredible. That's what lit my fire in regards to continuing this passion. It was a great tournament. Watching Springer rip shots because he was ineligible, and
just
that was
saw
great
Kai,
stuff.
by the way. I figured out where he is behind the net. I'll point him out to you next time.
Okay,
but
he's behind Ward at this point. Oh, no goal. No goal.
Hey, I haven't even gotten to see it yet. No goal, no goal. Now you're back ahead of us, Neck. All right, so eyes on the prize here. You're a good 10 seconds. Oh, they called no goal. I don't know. I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
Too. I didn't see their feet inside.
Yeah, Zed Williams, man. That's
he's been on fire.
So
I
Zed,
think they did throw the challenge.
Where is he out of? He's a Tonawanda guy, isn't he?
He's definitely I think he's Allegheny. Was he
Silver Creek?
Silver Creek. He might have been Silver Creek.
Silver Creek.
He's
where is that?
spectacular.
Where is what nation is that in? Do you know?
I want to say he's Seneca. I could be wrong though.
But is that like down by Allegheny or is it further north?
Yeah. It's over near Gowanda, over near Salamanca.
Okay. Well, because like Zach Miller, he's they got his stuff there. I would have figured Zed Williams, if he was an Allegheny guy, they would have had it hung up, unless he just hadn't played in that.
Yeah, I could be totally off too.
No, yeah,
You're right.
I know he's there because they said Silver Creek
Those
last
guys
week.
are the same era.
Yeah, because I think him and Sundown were both Tonawanda guys. At least he
you could be
played in
right.
Tonawanda. I don't know what nation he's from, but I believe he played in that youth organization before they all. Because, like you said, so many of these guys go up north afterwards. They're up in Six Nations playing as they get older.
Yeah. That's a special place. If you haven't been there, you've been there, obviously, but
Not obviously. I only had one chance, and it was pretty cool. I basically got a personal tour from Lyle of the a couple of the things up there, and we got to hang out on the field, and I got to film them playing.
stonework, that that room they have above the field, just magic. You know?
Yeah. Well, I got to film those guys playing wall ball on it. So it was Marshall Powless, Travis Longboat, Justin Martin, and Lyle messing around, and that's cool. I've still got all that on the computer. I got to get that out and check it out. But yeah, no, it's that is a very special atmosphere. Everybody told me I got to get up there. Once I got up there, I was definitely not disappointed.
Yeah, it's good for the soul.
Oh,
Good
what a
for the
save,
soul
Ward.
going up there.
You see Kai, he's sitting right there. Basically, I was going to say, I thought we were going to get the zoom in. They just missed him.
What color is he? Got a T-shirt on, a blue T-shirt.
I think he did. We'll see when he gets back around.
It kind of looked like a younger kid behind the goal there. Not quite sure. If it is, hi Kai.
Yeah, he's like Bell's age. So
Nice.
I'm pretty sure he's right around Bella's age.
All right, there's Ward.
Which we were out skating and I had to sit in the car.
Culkin did the game.
What's that?
That was Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone.
He's got the white Swarm jersey, so you can pick him out behind. Oh, yeah, right there. He's got a green hat on. Right to the left of the shot clock.
Of
white
the shot
Swarm
clock?
jersey.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I
Kinda
can put my
great.
mouse pointer on him. I'll get it right on him. He's right here.
Yeah, I see nothing.
I see
Yeah.
nothing. That mouse pointer's
By the
kind
way,
of small for you.
Anyone who's focusing on me eating, I apologize. I am sure I'm scaring the children.
Nice. Sorry.
Good wings from Vinny's and Herkimer, though.
A shout out to Vinny's and Herkimer. Their wings are spectacular on this fine Friday night.
Another bouncer.
What was that one?
That's Cole again.
Oh, man, he's having a night.
He's having a night, and I think it was either last week or the week before he was up, starting to fire up. So,
He's a good sized boy.
yeah.
That was 4-on-4. Took the lead. Swarm.
Especially not having Q, though, because that's his spot usually, sitting out there taking them outside shots. So that's huge for Cole to be able to step up like that. Brian Cole, 18th of the season.
18th, second of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Second
that
of the
nice
game.
dive. Yeah. 4-on-4, a little more space to roam around on the green monster there.
I thought that was just Jeremy Thompson on the bench not taking the face off. Is he in the box, though?
I didn't see who went in.
Yeah, so that wasn't him taking the face off, though, so they don't have him doing it. That's surprising. Now he's signing autographs. I'm reading guys' stuff in the chats.
Oh, just a bit outside. That was our that shot you're going to see, and it completely missing that. That was a hindrance on us last year. It would lead to a lot of fast breaks.
You'd
Gotta
hear the
put it on
guys.
goal.
You'd hear the guys talking about it in the locker room ahead of time, though, and they were saying, don't hit the goalie in the chest. And then it almost puts the pressure on the guys, so they're shooting like that. And then, like you said, are they aiming high? Are they aiming wide? Because that is a fast break, especially you got some guys that can rifle the ball. So, I mean, that's a heck of a shot coming off the backboards.
Oh, yeah. Well, shout out to Giddy for the Vegas team last week. He put one on a dime. It just caught the rebound, threw it in his stick, and just let one ride probably 70 feet. A kid caught it, shot, and scored. It was sweet.
What'd you
Nice
think
play.
of Getty playing?
I liked his. He was very agile. I thought he did a very good job for him.
He's a heck of an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, you give him that. He's a different size than. not Hartley. Yeah.
Yeah, he's bigger than Hartley, but Kells was the
Yeah.
other goalie that was playing for them.
Kells is Kells is what I
Yeah.
was thinking. I was having a brain fart. A couple of them now that I got a couple of them Jimbo sarsaparillas in me. But I thought he was very agile. Hartley up in Rochester is one that I was, just the way he plays. We was talking about it on Yeti Talks, and then I watched Adam and Swamper were doing a Stamper. I got too many names. I got Jimbo's.
But
song.
yeah, no, they were talking about it too. Yeah, he is crazy athletic. And that's been a big thing though, is getting Hartley back this year. Now he's back, and they talked about a goalie controversy there. I don't know if you read the IL Indoor articles, but I don't know how much of a goalie controversy that is. I'm going to give Hartley a couple weeks to figure it out.
Right. Well,
But Hutchcraft's worth a lot more now than he was at the start of the season.
Absolutely. Well, even Saskatchewan, they have some depth in goal now. You know, as far as
Sorry, I was
a couple weeks.
yeah, I was
You
listening.
gotta have the replay. You gotta have the replay. You want to hear it twice, no question.
Trying to put the delay on. He's getting nervous about what you're going to say.
No, I'm just trying to make sure our volume sounds good, and I still didn't get to hear you.
Hey, Bobby, how about them Steelers dropping off a quarterback? What do you think?
What happened? I don't know what happened.
Russell is gone.
Well, they cut him.
They cut him.
Did they trade him or they just cut him?
They cut him.
Got ya.
They got rid of him. Ward's playing without a glove. He's awesome.
That tells you a little something. By the way, congratulations to Josh Allen.
It was. I wish it was the MVP of the Super Bowl, but you know what? Yeah, congrats to him.
Yeah, you
And his
guys don't
boy.
get those.
No, as far as it's a tribute to his, what his offensive line did for him. Those guys came together. They came together offensively, to protect the kid. Obviously, he's an athlete, and they did a good job.
So is this the first time Buffalo's been good since Jim Kelly?
It's been they've been in it the last 4 years. The playoff contention concept, but nice play.
They're finally in the playoffs, though.
Magic that 1 year.
Well, and they've ran into Kansas City, I think 2 or 3 times. Matter of fact, that have ended their season's quest, and it's all been, especially this year. You don't sit there, and it's very hard because you do have so many high-tech cameras and technology where officials can't be officials and have the human element anymore because it is such a scrutinized, as it is in this box game, but it's so scrutinized and so seen that, even
The problem with football is there's so much money in it, though. I mean, you have millions and millions of dollars being bet on it. So, I mean, all that stuff is, it's crazy. Not just the millions and millions of dollars being bet on it, but I mean, just look at what the TV advertisements cost for that.
Oh, no question. There's so much money involved in it. It's like, okay, what I don't like though, you're changing the game. The game is the game. It's a matter of inches. It's a matter of chain links per se, and you left that up to the element of the naked eye because that yellow line isn't there. They didn't even, there was a 4th down play. There was never even a measurement. I don't care what the concept is. As a coach, you should be calling. I want to see what the measurement was, and a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff by the officiating. It's tough. But again, they get paid the big bucks. I mean, it's a hell of a part-time job, no question.
Yeah, most of those guys I got to imagine are full-time. I'm hoping. Charity told me to turn my mic down a smidgen. I just did. I hope that fixes it. That's bad if I'm louder than Paul and Bob. I got to say that. That's impressive. Oh.
Yeah. I kept my mouth shut.
I'm not using a microphone.
The tic-tac-toe is pretty impressive. And again, getting the goalie to move east to west.
That guy's not impressed.
We're not splitting atoms,
Not splitting atoms. You are taking down the wall, though.
Here's the chance to pitch officiating. What you get paid lawyer money to officiate. I don't think people realize how much money's actually involved. You get to jog around, stay in touch with the game, and we need them. We need more people doing it. And box, field, doesn't matter. Women's need officials.
Honestly, the problem is most of us, if you're in shape enough to be an official, a lot of us would rather still play.
Yeah, that's the same thing in soccer, but they still have officials at the World Cup.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they got officials out here too. I'm just saying yeah, I don't know. It is tough, and we definitely need some officials. I appreciate everybody that does it, but yeah, we need you got to somehow get some track athletes or something. Somebody who maybe doesn't want to play but is fast enough to keep up with it.
Right.
I personally, I want somebody that's played the game. I think it does help with the mannerism of understanding the follow through concept.
There's a lot of objective calls in this sport too, though. That yeah.
When I was out in Wisconsin, Wisconsin's kind of on the frontier for lacrosse, right? And for the officials out there, what you had to figure out was, is this guy a hockey guy or a soccer guy? Because the hockey guys let you maim them, and the soccer guys are throwing the flag. Seriously, when you're looking early part of the game, you're trying to figure out what's allowable and what's not, and adjust accordingly.
So at some point, try to slide the 52-inch stick in there and see if
Yeah.
they notice it or not. That would be a special place for me to be. There's no question. I'd be throwing that out there. We're running 6 poles all the time, baby.
6 pulls all the time, he says. I love it. So Kai was just heading back to the seats now. Next time we get down at the end, hopefully we'll be able to see him. The white jersey. We're
White
going to have
jersey.
next school vacation. Kai's coming on the program, though. I've got it all set up. I talked to his
Nice.
dad, so he's going to reach out next time. He's got a problem is we do it on Monday night, so it's a school night. So I do understand that, and that's why I was kind of waiting a little bit. But right over the top. We do got to start getting our boy Tan on a little more. He was pretty funny. He's got some knowledge too, but more importantly, he made me laugh quite a few times with some of the stuff he was saying.
He was very. He knows his shit. There's no question. I love it.
Oh
It
yeah.
was good stuff. It was good stuff. Great talking with them, hanging out. Josh hanging out with us. That was good stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Josh was going to come on, but I guess Josh was a little too busy to jump on the Google Meet tonight.
We are here with Bob Leary, hanging out, the head coach at Herkimer Community, Herkimer HCCC, that is, Herkimer County Community College. And he's getting ready for practice with the 8:30 tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving soon. I'm a little sad. I'm really having fun here, and
Well, do me a favor. Let me, I got to go get some more Jimbo as well. So keep talking to Greg, and I'll be right back.
So
you gotta do that.
So I know like Cody Jamison out of Halifax, he's an Onondaga guy, but how many other guys in the league do you know of that have gone through this JUCO? So a lot of guys watching might hear JUCO and they don't
Tyson
understand
Bell
what it
is
is.
an Onondaga guy. Warren Hill is an Onondaga guy. Travis Longboat. The year I was there, Travis was on our team. Randy, Audie, those guys. Let me see. Who else are you talking? Dave Brock is a Herkimer guy. He just retired, right?
Yeah. Was that the last Herkimer guy that was in?
I think it's the last one right now. Yeah. Obviously, we had Reggie Thorpe and Ronnie Koga. We had a lot of guys, but right now, and it makes sense. It's more Onondaga guys. They've been much more successful lately, and there's a ton of their guys with a good box background, so you can expect it. I mean, we think JoJo Brandt is gonna make Kyler Johnson. There's guys in the pipeline. They're just not at that level yet.
Making their way up through, and that is the thing, though. I mean, really, how many? There's only a handful of teams, and getting rid of Panther City, man, that really made these roster spots even tighter.
Right, but there'll be expansion. They are very, very good at identifying. They if you're good, they'll find you.
Yeah, I think Kai's just off the camera to the left. I think we found him.
But I got to pitch Herkimer a little bit more. We have Stu Montour working in Halifax there with the Halifax front office. We have Dan Carey, the GM for the Rochester Nighthawks, is a Herkamite. What else do we have in the offices? I think we got some more, but those two come right off the page for me. Jeff Paulus was working with the Haudenosaunee women during the World, so we've got some guys in the management stuff too.
I actually met him outside. That's funny. I forgot he was, but yeah, no, I met him outside randomly. I was talking to him about something, and he told me who he was, and so I was like, "Oh, all right."
That's a heavier set, older gentleman.
Nope.
No, he's big boned.
Well, no, you know what I'm saying. I mean, a bigger guy, but probably me and Bobby's age. Is that who?
Yeah, he was the goalie for our. We had the Generals LC that team in Laxton. He was on that team with JoJo. Those were our goalies.
Okay.
I'm
thinking the one guy that was working with the Haudenosaunee women's.
That's Jeff.
That was Jeff.
That's Jeff Paulus. Yep.
Okay. Well,
hey, we have Chris Vale. Chris Vale, who's on those podcasts out of Six Nations.
Yeah, the Creators podcast. Yeah, that's a great podcast.
Chris Vale is a Herkimer guy.
Really?
And he's a Long Island guy living in Six Nations now. Fell in love and moved to Six Nations.
Just stayed there.
I could see that. That place is cool, man. That is that's a unique atmosphere up there. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely be going back at some point.
Some great people.
We need to take Greg, you, me, and Bobby a car ride. I've not been there. Bobby's been telling me I need to go for ages. He's been telling me, and I just have never had the opportunity.
Like what wouldn't Paul like?
Well, that's the whole concept is
everything. Paul would, you'd have a good time up there.
Oh, there's no question.
I'm actually trying to talk Obes into putting a team in the NABLL out of Six Nations. I told him, I was like, you guys joined the Can-Am, now you need a team in the NABLL. I said, you guys get that going on. We got some progress going, so I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's so doable for them. It's just a matter of if they want to,
Yeah, they have so many I didn't realize how many teams they had. I mean, they have Senior A, Senior B, Senior C.
If you get a chance, go to a tyke practice there. It is one of the coolest things to watch. All the dads are out there helping, and there's a ton of kids playing. You're like, we're going to beat these guys.
They come right out of the school. So that ILA, I didn't realize that it's attached to the high school. So, I mean, you're literally at a school. They come out, they do their gym class out there on the floor. We were filming, had to stop for gym class, and then got to go back out after gym class was over.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
that's
impressive.
Did you get to the Gaylord Perry? The Gaylord Perry is a special place too.
Yeah, that's the one that's got the big the painting on the back there.
Yep.
Yeah, that place is cool.
Nice pick. Oh,
Necker's ahead again.
I'm ahead again. Well, it kicked me off the big screen, so now I'm watching it on the small little iPad, and it's right next to the one that you guys are watching, and yeah, I am ahead. I'm about 20 seconds ahead.
Oh, Dobson. Big save. Might have hit the post, the guy said, but I don't know.
He threw a dime a couple minutes ago, made a big save, came up laser. How's the boys at Clark University doing, Bob?
They're doing good. We got Javon Glenn Anderson out there and Dougie Paulus, and we have
JoJo still there?
JoJo's not still there.
Okay.
JoJo's gone back home, and he's actually concentrating on trying to get drafted and that kind of thing. So
okay.
JoJo Brandt's, he's back up Fort Erie, right outside of Six, and he plays for St. Cat's. Does a great job there. We got Jay Soden up there, who's one of the coaches, who's a Herc guy, and he just had a birthday, so shout out to him, and we honored him on our social media and stuff.
Doing a good job with that, you are, Bobby. It's good to see. I got to get up to the team room. I want to see the team room.
I have to do a video of it for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Ryan Delarocco said, "We'll see you later, Coach Larry." He's got to get out of here for the rest of the evening. But thanks for watching, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan,
is Ryan heading to practice? No, Ryan's not old enough for practice yet, right? Or Which one's the dad? Because we've got usually him and his dad are both in the comments. I know
they're
out
one
of
the Junior Yetis.
Bethlehem,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, one of the Junior Yeti players.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a future. It's a future general.
He's a future general. He's not there yet, but he's a future general. I like it.
He's got
We're
dreams.
very excited about him, just so you know. And I mean, hope his knee's recovering. You know.
Yeah, he's hurting from what was that? Partial.
Yeah.
He's doing the rehab.
Mahonison, baby. Look out for
Oh,
those
he's
guys.
a
Mahonison,
Shellmont, the Mahonison Shellmont guys.
Right.
Coming in next year. Okay,
Nice.
so he's the same. He's like Lucas. Lucas will be graduating this year. He's going to Alfred, though. He just had to have that D1 next to his name. He was super excited. They offered it to him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm on it." So, I understand. And there's right in front of that was Kai right there in front of the play. If you were still watching, Paul, I was not, but
I wasn't. Well, I was actually.
Well, let me let you guys get at it. I got to go up and go to practice. So much fun. I hope I get to do it longer next time.
Yeah,
Well, Bobby,
absolutely.
thank you for being with us. I appreciate it. Keep those them generals in line.
Thanks, guys.
we'll
Hey,
see you.
See you soon.
Video tour of the team room, they said. I like it. See, so there's Kai right there, Paul. I don't know if you could see him. He's
Hold on.
basically top left of the screen, right above that Colorado player.
Okay.
The kid with the hat.
You're I can't quite see what you're pointing at.
Can
on
you see my
your
mouse
screen.
moving around that kid?
No, it's just to the left of what I got. I'm trying to expand. Yeah, I got a split screen,
Oh,
and
gotcha. You got to make me full screen so you can put me on up. Bob
Yeah,
didn't
that's-
sign out of the meet. He just got up and walked out. That's amazing. I freaking love
helping the numbers. He's a numbers guy, man. He's a numbers man.
He stayed in the meet. That's awesome. Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
there he is. He's back. He's
I'm
back.
not really back. I got to get out of here.
Yeah, you gotta close it. I was
I
just gonna.
just don't know how to log out.
This should just be a big red phone button that you click, Bob, on the
There it
bottom
is.
of
I
the
see
screen.
it.
All right.
Oh, that was
Well,
amazing.
Go back to where you were with the screen. Now I got full screen. I can see
Now you
where
got
he
full
is.
screen. There's
Okay.
there's Kai right there,
With
just
the white
above this
jersey, white hat.
white jersey, white hat, off to the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah, sitting right there. That's got to
Nice.
be him. Now man, that's a pretty sweet spot for your season tickets. I thought I had good seats, but I like that one. You're sitting up just enough that you really get the angle. You can probably see over Dylan Ward when they're ripping it from the far side.
Yeah, but look at him. He's almost his shoulders. Look how far his shoulders are over the top of that pipe.
Yeah, he's a
He is
monster.
a tall guy. He is a tall, but I'm very surprised. Like I said, I was going through the stats and everything, to see how long he's been in the league, and looking at his weight, and I'm like, it's only saying that he's 195 pounds. He's that tall, and only 195 pounds. Where you take a look at Hill. And
Dougie.
you take and Dougie, those guys are tall, but they're very thick. And where Ward is not so thick, and it's like, does it make a difference? Does it make Dougie's having a hard time with that outside shot right now. Is it because he's a little thicker?
Actually, when Dougie started losing weights, when Dougie started having problems, Dougie was fine when he was 300 pounds. Now he's down to like 230. And he doesn't move he moves well, but he doesn't block as much. He became more active, and it was working pretty good for him. But he actually, I don't know, his goalie of the year was before I was a box lacrosse fan. It was the last year before the COVID years happened. So it was just before their last year in New England before they moved to Albany. And so I'd be lying if I said I really watched him when he had his goalie of the year, because I know the first year we come in, I watched him and I was like, man, this dude's pretty good. Like, you could watch him and you were like, okay, I know he's all right. And then that second year, man, that was brutal. Like you said, the outside shots. Yeah, they want a team room shout out from the Hurt guys. The zoom in like NCIS. I love it.
Get some, Herc. Get some, boys. It's actually Greg talking about the them guys. What do we have? One current Ricky, he played with the Yeti last year, and pretty sure he's going to be back again this year, unless he honestly is. That cat is
little
a
number one there you're talking about?
no. That's Hussey. That's Hussey out at OCC.
Oh, you're talking Adelson.
Adelson, yeah.
Okay.
Ricky is up at Herc, and just to see the development from last year to this year in a 1 year span, with just throwing 1 year of box lacrosse experience in there, how his game has matured. Same thing with Hussey. Hussey is a kid, same thing. 1 year of box lacrosse, but what that 1 year to help mature their field game and give their field game that much more, salt and pepper, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Spices it up.
Josh is loading up. Let's take a quick break, and then Josh will be in the chat here in a minute. So thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate all the sponsors. Support our local sponsors if you get a chance. We'll be right back.
Try this schnitzel. Ask for a cross-check. Utica's finest barbershop. Contact Jordan Baldwin or Kevin Beach on Booksy.com. It's where Crosscheck gets his haircuts. Duratagre for all your new construction plumbing needs. Outside, inside, all around the town. Contact Dura. You need the pipe? They have the pipes. Utica Club Lounge, where the Yeti hang out pre-game and post-game. Incredible food. We have live music. Have a drink with the Yeti. Get some autographs. Bay Farms, where the beef's at. Where the hay's at. Contact Jimmy Fay. Master Vito Hyundai. Make your move to Master Vito. The Yeti have. It's been a great season so far. What a score. Brandwide Distillery, Cortland, New York. Stop in, say hello to Jimbo. Check out the shop. While you're at the shop, get yourself a little sampler. Sample that coffee liqueur. Have a little gin and tonic, maybe. And I know he's got that rumski. Stop in. It's what the Yeti drink. Join us on Monday nights. Toast with Brandwide Distillery. Utica Mac Incorporated. For all your sales and service needs, contact Francis Simile, CRM Commercial Residential Management. Contact Jason down at CRM. Robert Dix Jr. Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix, Rome Sign and Display Company, where we get all our banners here at the Yeti outfit. Liberty Affordable Housing. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, local representative and a friend of the Yeti. The B-Dry System. Water issues in your basement. And we're back. We got Josh on the line with us now. How you doing, brother?
Couldn't be better. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. As far as have you watched it? Yeah, have you been watching the game, or you're just coming in live?
Just coming. I'm actually about to throw it on the TV in here.
It's been a pretty back and forth game. Swarm, I believe, are up 6-5 right now.
Okay.
Ward is doing his job like he did last week, and Dobson's been doing his job. It's a lot of inside shooting going on. That's where the goals are coming from, getting the goalies moving.
Got to get to the dirty areas.
You got to get dirty. Pretty good game. I mean, as far as the back and forth, it has been keeping the entertainment going. Really, no shenanigans or not too many roughhousing, I guess you would say. Everything's been pretty clean.
Okay. I see we're on a commercial.
A lot of commercials. That's I've been trying to. For whatever reason, I'm running ahead of Greg, so I've been trying to keep quiet on some of the goals, but some of them were very good. So I try to minimize it.
You should try to make a bet with Greg. Be like, hey, I think he's going to score here.
Quick side wager. I think I was 20 seconds ahead of him. I got to start doing that.
I got a FanDuel bet for you.
I bet you Ward makes a save. Oh, look at that. You staying up to watch the late game tonight?
I think so.
I said I am as well.
There we
Gonna
go.
be a good time. Gonna be a good night. Sitting back and watching lacrosse. We're gonna tell Greg to mute his commercials.
Yeah, we don't want to listen to commercials.
I can watch him for Christ's sake. She's got a pretty smile. Yes.
I'm gonna
I think he must have heard us.
see how my Clarkson Golden Knights are doing. They're also a commercial. It's a conspiracy, I tell you.
Gotcha. Yeah, Georgia's on top. I got I got the same game on, and it's at 3 different parts of the game. This is horrible.
All right, looks like the Clarkson Golden Knights are up 2-1 going into the third.
The hockey team's doing well this year.
Better than I expected them to do.
Yeah.
They're third in the ECAC. They got a new coach this year. And they got the guy who was the coach left really late. But Clarkson somehow fell into a coach who was coaching the AHL and was like on the short list for a bunch of NHL jobs. But he's from Clarkson. So when his
Okay.
alma mater called, he went, "I'm going back."
I'm going back. That's
And
awesome.
he's done a really good job with not his guys. So I'm really excited to see what the future has in store.
One of the arena keeper, the man that runs the arena is a Rome kid that I played lacrosse with, Josh Bartel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he played there, and now
He's a defenseman.
he's
So I've actually met Josh a few times.
really
Yep.
good kid.
I'll
Good
go.
kid.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you guys even talking about? I completely was not here. You'll have to give me the quick version.
Right now we're talking Clarkson hockey.
hockey.
Clarkson hockey. Okay, so we'll get
Yeah.
this side out of here. But yeah, it's been a good first half so far.
It's
I was
been
like, we got to fill time somehow. It was on commercial for the
Oh yeah,
lacrosse
the
game.
game though. I tell you though, these two goalies, who's going to win tonight? Ward is usually good, but I don't know the way they've been moving that ball side to side. That is his big downfall. Taking the 3 big steps. I mean, like Paul talks about Dougie on the far out shots because he stays so close to that crease line. That's something you see. Kidd is a lot more active. He moves out more. Both of these goalies are a lot more active.
It was like kids half the size of Doug.
Yeah, kids like my size. Kids is not a very big goalie.
No. I think Dougie's hurt. He has just not looked good, and he looked really bad at Buffalo. He just wasn't moving.
Yeah.
Gosh, how much is too much though? Again,
I think you're right. I think
especially-
Worlds and everything else is just too much. I mean, you think about it though. He hasn't had a 2-month, time off in the season, so you're keeping yourself in shape. And I mean, any of these athletes. I mean, and Dougie's probably not the most athletic guy, but you got to give your body time to rest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And not for nothing, I've seen the pictures of him in the ice tub, and it's filled with beer. And
Here, yep.
as far as I'm assuming that he's probably similar to most young guys that are, lacrosse players. A lot of them tend to like to have some brewskis.
Not to mention though, I mean, think about it. So he won goalie of the year when he was what, 22 years old?
I forgot when he went up. It was before his time in Albany, so
Yeah.
before my time following.
So, I mean, 2020 is like 27, 28 now. So, yeah, I mean, he was 25 years old, 24 years old, somewhere around there. That's a young kid to win goalie of the year. That's got to be tough. And now you're trying to compete with that forever. Yeah, that's a tough spot to be because you talk about a lot of these guys, they do good. And then I think there's so much film out on the way Simmons and Kurtz were playing and Walker and everything that was such a big part of this year. Guys had footage. They had what they were doing. They could watch it. And you see that with Dougie, too, I think. Guys are just taking that outside shot because they know he doesn't step out. And with the defense being as banged up as it is, they haven't been able to keep the pressure on.
For the most part, most of the goals, if you take a look at those outside shots, they're low to the left-hand side. They're low left shots where it's not
Just above the foot.
Just right above the foot. And whether they have most of these guys know how to put a spin on it, and where it may get that extra 2-inch break because it hits the carpet and it niches in there. These guys are talented. It's awesome to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, plus you're talking the eyes of the stick, so just because the player's sitting there, he might reach out another 2 foot. Especially, I mean, some of these guys are huge.
Yeah. Reaching around the defender, the guy that's setting the screen, you can't see it, and all you're seeing is a stick coming off the hip, basically. And by the time you notice it, the ball's hitting the turf in front of you and skipping in. It's crazy. It's awesome stuff.
Doesn't take long.
It doesn't take long.
I was like, I don't know what your thought was, but I thought Kidd played well. I thought he kind of steadied the ship a bit and kind of gave Albany a chance.
He did, but if Albany's going to be successful, you need Dougie at his peak performance. You don't need Kidd at the performance level he gave us or Dougie at what he's been this season. You need that next level goaltending. I mean,
or get healthy on the back end.
Just look at the championships. There's a reason Buffalo's on a dynasty run. Yes, their offense can go for 18, 20 goals when they need to, but most nights they don't need to. You watch at what they're keeping other teams to. They do a pretty good job.
I mean, look back last year when Buffalo wasn't playing well, their goalie wasn't playing well. They weren't winning faceoffs.
Yeah, it's that simple, really.
Vince got healthy, and they brought in Connor Farrell. I think Adam Levy had a tweet the other day. I think they said that Buffalo was like 16-1 since signing Connor Farrell.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah. You want a stat that says faceoffs matter? There you go.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up right there.
I mean, even if you're taking it to a 13-13 draw.
20 less goals against is what that is right now. I just pulled that stat up. So if you look at Buffalo's goals against, 57, and then the next is Vancouver Warriors with 74, then the Black Bears with 77. That's an insane stat.
But Buffalo also has fewer games than everybody else.
2 games less than everybody else, right? And after this week,
they got
3 because they've got
goals against average.
Yeah. So 10, yeah. Yeah, because at the end of this week, it'll be 3. They've had all their buys early. And does that hurt them going down the stretch?
Time's going to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming in as far as healthy. You can't ask to be more healthy.
Matt Vince didn't play anywhere this summer.
That also helps.
And that's, again, how much is too much? And did he realize that now at 40 years old and said, you know what? I'm taking the summer off and going to enjoy watching some incredible lacrosse. Stay in shape. Obviously, the man stays in shape. Look at him with his equipment off. He's by far...
Looks like a mini
incredible.
Hulk.
Yeah, you would never think he had that physique with all that equipment on.
Well, like Josh gets there pretty early, and I try to for a lot of the games, and I like watching the guys warm up because you get to see a little bit different side. Like all the players got their little rituals. I mean, this guy has an hour like pregame ritual. He goes over in front of the bench. He's got just his leg pads on. He's got just his sweatpants on. He starts, and he goes through all these crazy motions. Dylan Ward again, what a save.
Another one.
I'd like to see that again because I thought
it may have crossed the line. You may want to throw the towel there, Coach.
We'll rewind her and look at her.
I thought it hit just past the line and bounced back out because he does the spread eagle here.
Oh,
went across.
That
the
might
ref's right there.
That might be.
You'd think the ref's right there. Like, you got one job, buddy. Like that's your job. The ball
It's literally your job, he says.
Oh. What a setup.
I don't think they're going to challenge.
No, they don't. They're showing it now.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you can't tell from that angle.
Yeah.
No, and I think that was number 20 stick that hit the net.
You need the behind the net camera.
Yeah, you need the one that's right above the shot clock.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what you should do is rewind and look at the fans behind the goal.
To see what they do.
Exactly.
They know.
Especially those home fans. If that's in.
Wow, man.
You guys are ahead of me now.
Back ahead of you?
I was like, you're ahead of me, Greg.
Paul was ahead a little bit. Now I'm ahead.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're ahead of me now. Well, no, actually, I got 3. You're ahead of my big
How much
screen, and my little iPad is ahead of you by about 3 seconds. So I got 3 different, the same game going at 3 different.
3 different speeds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's easy to keep up with.
You know what's better than one game of lacrosse? 3 games of lacrosse.
3 games, and they're all the same.
Well, that's the
By the
problem.
way-
OJ's game starts at 10. That's past my bedtime usually. I'm by 10 o'clock I start turning into a pumpkin.
You're not staying on for OJ to watch the game with him?
I don't know. Maybe. I still can't believe anybody
Tell him
watches
that he
these.
lives, more on the East Coast. He lives too far west.
Yes, he's too far west. That's why he's our West Coast. We'll just have him and Tan
Him
can
and,
host the
Tan.
night watch
Nightcap.
party. They got the West Coast
Oh, I
covered
like
for
that.
us.
The East Coast, West Coast, BSP2.
BSPN 2. There we go. I like it.
That's it.
BSPNW. We'll call it BSPN West Coast.
There you go. We got the East
Oh,
and the
man.
West. That's good stuff.
Oh, Greg, I don't know if I told you, I got the Dyson Williams Tucker out lymphoma, the
You
away
did,
jersey.
because we've actually had to talk about this. I think somebody needs to tell you, Josh. We need an intervention. Josh has a collection of jerseys that could probably feed a small village somewhere. If you took what, if you took what Josh had spent in jerseys. Oh man!
Oh
that was
God,
pretty-
I don't even want to know.
I was laughing because last year we're talking. They're like, "How many Firewolves jerseys do you have?" And I was like, "I don't actually have one yet." They're like, 7. I was like, "What? I've got 7." And now how many do you have?
More than that?
I was gonna say you bought at least 2 more this year. You got to have close to 10.
They're probably better than
Did you see
the
that lady
DJ,
flipping him off?
He's usually in charge of the auctions. I'm a little focused on the game usually, and then I don't have to know
Watch this.
how much we paid.
This little girl, this little girl's just flipping them off. That's funny stuff right there.
I'll put it this way: we may have got 3 of the away Albany jerseys
Oh,
for that
okay,
last
so
one.
we're well over 10. And actually, the 7 that probably was only yours. That wasn't counting CJ's total, was it?
Exactly. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think the game worn ones we had.
That-
I got them numerically. We got Ty Kurtz last week. I got 2 Charlie Kitchen jerseys. I have
oh,
that was a good one.
That was
I'm trying
right.
to think.
was that
That was
Cole again? Man, that Cole's on fire tonight.
That's his hat trick.
Okay, the girlfriend's in here about to yell at me. How many jerseys do we have?
Oh, a lot.
A lot. Over a dozen. You're almost to the point that February you probably don't need to pick.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, it was 10.
We have at least 16 because I know we bought 3 in the spray. That's just the game issued ones. That's not even the replicas.
Yeah, so you
That's
can,
just the lacrosse.
16.
And that's just the Firewolves lacrosse ones. We also own.
hockey.
Oh no, we only got 2. No, do we get 3 Firewolves? Because we also got the Desert Dogs one.
Oh, no, we only got 2 Firewolves, so it might be 15.
15
We also
Firewolves
have
jerseys.
Desert
They've only been a team for 3 years. You have 5
Right?
jerseys a season. Oh,
I,
Got to support the team
yes.
or the charity.
oh, what a
technically.
save. Dobson with the big save.
That was huge.
That was huge.
Right in front of his main
We also
man.
got the. I also got a Rochester Nighthawks jersey. I won one of their auctions. They had a jersey, a helmet, a sweatshirt that I never saw because CJ took it pretty quick.
That
And actually did they got us tickets to one of the games up in the suite.
That's
Um,
sweet. In Rochester?
Yeah. So yeah, the auction. I forgot how much I did for the auction, but yeah,
$100.
it was jersey, helmet, sweatshirt, koozie, and 2 tickets, suite tickets.
And we got to
the
spend
game.
time with
Gilroy.
Gilray.
Gilray,
And
nice.
we got quesadilla.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the case of beer.
Oh, I did not forget about case beer.
And
In
case
our apartment for a year.
That's a pretty good package they had there. That's
Oh,
an
it was
awesome
awesome.
bag. Yeah.
I was like, I was very happy. Even not well.
That sounds like we'll have to
Okay,
put a
my-
Yeti package together where you give away the jersey and the suite tickets, and then maybe we could get Josh to come to a Yeti game.
Wow.
I was like, you got me at Jersey. I'm a Jersey guy.
That's actually, it's probably more about getting him away from the lake during like the summer.
Yeah.
Tough to get off the lake.
Yep.
Something about that is well, and that's why I like Friday nights. Is you want to know what? It's after work, gives you an opportunity before you go to camp. You know, let's go catch the Yeti game, and then we'll go at the camp after the Yeti game. You know, as far
Requires
as
him to leave work on time.
Well, I was like, also, the commute for you to get to the Yeti game's a little bit less than the commute for me to get there.
that's true. That's true.
I do really want to go. I will say that. I've been saying I want to go. I got to make it a point to actually get out there.
The best part about it, if you can't get there, is obviously you can watch BSP Productions and watch the game live.
But the best part about it is they have music beforehand and music after. It's one of the only places that we actually get to hang out with everybody, because usually by the time we're done packing up, everybody's already gone. We're like the last people to leave the arena, unless it's at the Nexus Center, because then there's usually still some people. We can get a song or two from the whoever's playing for the night before it's over.
I'm working on a couple. There's
That was cool last year. So the guy, he goes out and plays a lacrosse game, and then gets back up and starts playing his guitar again. It was,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
yeah,
Pretty cool.
Hayden McMonagle.
McMonagle. Yeah.
He did
McMonagle,
an
okay.
awesome job. Yeah, he did an awesome job. He's jamming right along right now. That was a tough one. you playing box lacrosse and strumming a guitar sometimes on the same night. You're lucky if you can, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, between the fingers getting smashed and you know, just bumps and bruises, holding on a guitar at the end of a game, I'm sure is the last thing you want to do. But he did. You know, as far as that's the fun part is, we got entertainment going on. I got some great ideas that we're going to do after the game this year.
Rip that one off the pipe. If I can, I got to get Jared to get out there and play one of these weekends. Maybe we can convince him to. I don't know if he'll play in front of anybody. It's Jared's problem.
We're going to have an open jam night, I think. I got Mike Pauly and a couple other guys.
If
that
you have
are,
an open jam night, I'll bring a guitar and play a little bit at the
I
I
end.
would-
thought Greg was gonna go out and go in the box and play.
You,
I heard play. I thought you were gonna say play lacrosse.
no.
I was like, yeah,
I
I'll
can't
go
play
watch
lacrosse.
that.
I can play guitar. I am definitely not going out on the field and playing lacrosse. I couldn't even watch. I couldn't even stand outside and watch my daughter skate today. It was too cold for my hip. I couldn't imagine trying to go out there and run down the floor.
Oh, another shot off the pipe.
But
The
that's
boys
it.
are hitting pipes.
And it's so crazy to me. You hit the pipe and it goes 200 feet. That is so hard.
That's pretty good. That's a hell of a dinger.
And then these guys are stepping and putting their shin bones in front of it.
Yeah. And sometimes they're not even flinching.
No.
Like
Or if you're-
like nothing even hit them. It's like,
Or if you're Wagner, you put your head in it.
oh,
Yeah, if you're Wagner, the
oh,
back
no
of your head,
balls.
if he has a choice, it seems like.
I haven't heard. When is he supposed to get back?
I haven't heard anything on that either. I'll check the transactions, but I highly doubt there's any news on that.
Yeah.
They're on.
I was like, yeah, they're unbiased. So we probably won't even see anything. It'd probably be more of a.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things too that I don't know if they really know. Ooh, Ward got a piece of that one. I
I
thought
was like,
about-
hip.
It's out at the top of the key there. His toes were on the white line when he saved that shot.
yeah. No, he is great. I don't know if there's anybody who plays more of an angle game than Dylan Ward. Like, even you just watched him there. He steps out, but he doesn't. Dobson doesn't go all the way out. He's still
No, he doesn't.
well inside the crease.
It was like I was back to the Firewolves for 20 seconds. I was like, when's Colton Watkinson supposed to get back? Because he got hurt, and they said it shouldn't be that long term, and it's been what, a month and a half.
Yeah, that's a problem, especially so if you've got like a lower body injury. Like Tchaikovsky went out there a couple weeks ago. Remember when he got hurt on that transition play coming down? So
Mhm.
even though he's back, he's still not even close to full
He's not.
capacity, though.
No,
I mean,
God, no.
like you watch him, and then with Watkinson, his whole style, the way he plays, if he doesn't have his athleticism, it's like, ooh, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a great quarterback out there, but ooh, that was way too much. But honestly, I think that's part of the problem why they're not gelling well with Dougie right now is because when you don't have the guys out there taking those far out, putting the pressure on the guys to take that far out shot, so you can't pick that spot right above his left foot. I think you see the downfall. Their defense in transition.
They hit that spot.
Yeah, but no, they all like it. It's very.
Why didn't they give Dougie the?
Oh my goodness!
Wow, what a goal!
Oh, that's
Holy
Brendan.
cow.
So where's Brendan Bonberry out of?
He's out of Onondaga.
He's an Onondaga guy as well.
He's an Onondaga guy as well. We played him. As far as that's the cool thing. As far as 4 years ago when we were in the IBLA, that's one of the cats that we're playing against. And hey, I hope some of the NABLL players can get some recognition sometime and maybe get that chance. Get invited to a camp.
That's a good goal.
Oh yeah, I'm rewinding that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. So, Paul, I gotta
You
say, I'm not as
Yeah.
up on all these different leagues.
Yeah,
What was one you just said? IB
Doesn't
LL?
exist
Yeah.
anymore. Don't even waste your brain space on that one.
yeah.
That was
Okay.
before we were lacrosse fans, bud. That happened, and there's so much drama with that one. We'd have to get you all caught up in that on a whole other episode. But
You heard about the PBLA before, right?
Yes, that's the one
Okay.
that was in Syracuse.
Yeah,
and
same
Binghamton,
concept.
and-
yeah,
Same thing. As far as to say money grab, they tried the money grab concept, and
That was a good one. I actually kind of felt bad because CJ's
Oh.
dad is in Binghamton, and he heard how much we loved going to the Firewolves games, and
and we knew a
When
bunch
the
of those
Boston
Binghamton
Boston
guys.
Binghamton,
Too bad,
yeah.
too, because there was, 5 Yetis on that Binghamton team?
the coach was a Yeti. Neil was the
Yeah, it
the
was
head
Neil
coach.
Paulus, and then you had Chris Ryan played. Jimmy Fay was operations guy. Oh, my goodness!
Now, how did I get ahead of you guys?
I was gonna say I just watched that one too. I thought that's the one he was talking about.
Yeah, that's
Eccleston.
what
Oh,
I
man.
was talking about.
I didn't catch all the way back up to live. I stayed 5 seconds behind, so that way I wouldn't be so far ahead of everybody.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Now I'm way ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
as far as Brian Gonzalez, he was on there. Andrew Davey, another Yeti.
Ryan.
Yeah, Gonzo.
Yeah, you had
Ruby-
Conzo, Chris Ryan.
Chris Ryan was assistant coach.
Yeah.
There's
Conzola. Getty played on that team too, didn't he? And he was sometimes a Yeti.
Yeah, well, he was on the Yeti roster. Yeah, for 1 year. Jeff,
Yeah. Getty
did
the
he
Yeti.
play for them or did he play for the Syracuse?
Actually, I don't remember. He might have been a Sparkle Muffin.
Kobe Johnson, Sparkle Muffins. That's right, the
Sparkle
Sparkle
Muffins.
Muffins. And Ron Cogan was the head coach of that one, was he not?
That's how I met Ron Cogan. So
Yeah.
Neil had asked me to go film a practice for them so he could get some film of the team. Well,
Yep.
they were scrimmaging against Ron, so I went over, talked to Ron, did a quick interview, and and that Ron was like, who are you, kid? What are you doing? So basically, I told him, I was like, I'm just out here helping Neil out. We do this, me and my wife. It's just a hobby of ours. We think this is the best sport ever. And he's like, hey, so do I. And next thing you know, he invited us out to Can-Am. And, first was a stick makers tournament. Then we went to Can-Am.
Yep.
And, yeah, it's been a blast. So, yeah, without all of the weird little connections, there would definitely be no Blue Squatch. But, yeah, Ron Cogan, big part of that with the Sparkle Muffins. That was the first time I met him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the doubleheader. That was a doubleheader. They had three of them. 3 teams. I think Trenton was there that day too, wasn't they?
No, it was
Yeah.
PBLA. It was the Binghamton, Syracuse, and it wasn't
Trenton.
Trenton. It was
Wasn't
a
it
different.
Trenton?
No, there was a different team, wasn't there? There was a Trenton team, but I don't think that was the team that was there because there was one more that
Yeah,
was
Trenton was. They were the good
Elmira.
ones. Elmira. That's what it was. Elmira. Yeah, they used the Yeti jerseys that day.
Yes. yeah. We had the black bag square
squares.
ones. You had the
Yeah.
yeah. I got that video somewhere actually. Somebody said something to me about that. They were like, "You should make those all public." I was like, "Yeah, I don't think the PBLA should really care too much anymore." So actually, Kai is sitting just to the left of those people they just zoomed in on.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you seen that little show there? So when actually, Josh, I don't know if you were on yet when
I
Kai's
saw you said he was down behind one of the goals. I
yeah,
didn't
he
know which
sits
one.
right behind, so he's behind George's goal right now. But Kai's dad, I've got his number. He texted me a picture of Kai, so I had him with his jersey and his hat on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I'm excited. I love what Kai's doing. He's especially with the broken ankle, man.
Nice
He's been
pick.
busy. I can't keep up with all the stuff he's doing on YouTube.
I didn't realize he broke his ankle. I hope. Oh, no, they did. He did say
He's
something.
got
about
his foot in a cast. I don't know if it's a broken ankle. That's just what I had assumed. But so that kid's nuts. He plays box lacrosse goalie and field goalie, and he also should not get hit with a ball very hard. Like, minor detail. It's like, wait, what? He's got some kind of. Yeah, I was like, hang on. I made him explain that one to me once. I can't wait. I'm going to have him and Dobson come on the podcast, and we're going to go through Dobson's career and then Kai's. And
Well,
I'm
that
excited.
just forces him to make the save with the stick, right?
Yeah.
Essentially. I mean, there's been a couple goalies over the years in regards to, I know he played at Syracuse, Freddie Solomon. He didn't wear a chest protector. You're a field goalie, and you don't wear a chest protector. He's from the Onondaga Res, and God bless his rest his soul. But, he's passed away because of cancer not that long ago, probably within the last 10 years, but an incredible player. Just, can you imagine playing box lacrosse with no chest protector on?
God, no.
No.
God.
No,
God.
I wouldn't play goalie with I would maybe play box lacrosse goalie. I would never play field. You cannot convince
No.
me to play field lacrosse goalie.
I did it for a while, and it's you are a special person to, look at all the bodies just all over the floor.
Greg, did you see the video that the Firewolves posted with some social media guy? They threw him in the goalie pads.
Yeah, I did. I did catch part of
Block a
that one.
shot or block 3 shots or something like that. And he's
Yeah.
like, how fast is a shot typically? 100 miles an hour. Like, oh god. And then the first shot he faces is against Alex Simmons. And just snipes it or top corner.
Just ripped it. Yeah. No, so
ripped it.
if you've never been in the batting cage, like anybody who thinks like 55 miles an hour isn't that fast or 70 miles an hour isn't that fast, go in a batting cage, turn that thing up to 70 miles an hour, and you tell me if you're thinking about hitting it with a bat, yet alone putting your shin bone in front of it.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Oh man.
Yeah, not good.
But I've always been surprised that the NLL doesn't have a team in Syracuse with the.
Well, the problem with
Passionate.
Syracuse is
They
the
did.
I was going to
They
say
had the Syracuse Smash.
there's been
Yeah.
several teams that have tried it, but the problem always with Syracuse is the market size. So like the city of Syracuse is kind of big, but a lot of the population is tied up with the colleges. So like you got
Syracuse, I think, is bigger than Albany.
It
But
is.
Albany has Troy, Schenectady, Saratoga.
That's what I was just
Glen
going to
Falls.
say. So within that was sweet. But within an hour drive of Albany, you have all those cities. Within an hour drive of Syracuse, at best, maybe Rochester, but even that's a little
No,
over an hour.
Rochester's an hour and at least
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm gonna-
Utica is 45 minutes down the road.
It takes me about from my house to the Dome is 1 hour. In regards to, and that's door to door. I get into the city, it's about 45 minutes.
yeah.
But I mean, and probably the other issue is the biggest arena they have there is the War Memorial, and that's
Yeah.
like 5,000 or something like that. It's not very bad.
Well, the NLL is also convinced with all these new teams that you need a Buffalo-sized stadium. They think they're all going to fill them, and it doesn't happen. You need to put 30 years into a place before you get it.
And there's something to be said about having the arena the right size for your market.
Or
I've
having
said
the
this
arena
about-
full.
Yeah, I was like, I said this about watching the women's professional hockey league, the WPH or PWHL, and
I didn't even know there was one.
yeah, actually, it's pretty good. It also helps that the Clarkson women are pretty well represented in that league too.
Yeah.
They had I don't know if it was their All-Star game or Defenseman of the Year or something, but they had like the 5 finalists and 4 of them graduated from Clarkson.
Actually, one of our good family friends, she's a Clarkson hockey player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jess Lurkeys was her name, but we're a little bit
okay.
older. She would have graduated in, she's older than us too. So I graduated high school in 02, which was probably around when she graduated college.
Okay, so she was like on the first
One of the
team.
Yeah, one of the first.
That was about when the women's team went varsity.
Yeah, I actually have to ask her. I didn't know it was quite that. We've talked to her a couple times because her and her husband both graduated from there. He didn't play hockey, but she did. He was a lacrosse player, but he didn't play at Clarkson.
Okay.
He was actually the founding, one of the founding guys at South Glens Falls. So a lot of teams, a lot of schools around here now, like assume South Glens Falls is a powerhouse for lacrosse. When I went to school, South Glens Falls didn't have a team up until a couple of years before, and they were trash. And the only youth program was Saratoga. So Saratoga used to beat everybody's butt. Glens Falls had just started their youth program. They were getting better. But I mean, honestly, all of these leagues, it all comes down to the youth program. If you put a stick in a kid's hand when he's 5, 6 years old, he's going to have a skill level that is just it's not even comparable to somebody like me who had never even touched a lacrosse stick till 9th grade. And then I didn't actually play till 10th, so then I played 10, 11, 12th were my only years. And the first time I'd ever even seen a lacrosse stick was in 9th grade. So until I met Paul Necker, I didn't know what a poke check was. I didn't know you were allowed to do that. I thought it was a penalty. Yeah.
Poke check to me is in hockey.
Right, but actually on defense, what you're really looking for is the poke at the bottom of the stick. You look for the bottom hand and then get between the stick and the player. So when you pick up, as long as you're under their armpit, they can't take off and you can control the stick.
Interesting.
And so as a hockey player who really understood physical positioning and as far as just not letting somebody get by you so you put your body in the right spot, all of a sudden I had a coach like Paul who taught me that. And if I had that before, you talk about the level of lacrosse that you can play. So not even knowing that was really an option with the long pole, and then all of a sudden Paul's like, "Hey, I think you're a midfielder," and I was like, "I consider myself pretty slow, sir. I'm not sure what you're thinking." Hockey player here, we do 30-second spurts. I'm not sure midfield is really our speed. And he tried his best to make it like a hockey player, where we were able to run on and off quite frequently.
But I mean, take Kai for example. You think he's going to be a box? Even think about box lacrosse without the Swarm in town?
Absolutely not.
Probably not.
I gotta let a dog out. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a huge part right there. So like Albany, and that's the problem. So Albany had the attack, but even as the attack, so I mean that was when I was in high school. I'm not sure how old you are. A little bit younger, I would assume.
Yeah. I remember I was in probably elementary, middle school when they.
Yeah. So and that was my high school. I was literally playing lacrosse at the time. But because I was a hockey player, I was not going down to Albany in the middle of the wintertime to watch that. It just wasn't what I was doing.
They
We
were
played hockey.
in and out so quick.
Yeah. What did they last? A year, 2 years?
Yeah, something like that.
I remember because I had asked a kid in high school, I was like, "What is this? How do they play lacrosse on a field?" He's like, "It's a completely different sport." He says, "Don't even worry about trying to learn it. You'll just end up getting yourself frustrated." So I was like, "Okay." And I wish I didn't listen to him, and I wish I had checked it out because, man, I think it is the best sport there is.
It's really entertaining. I mean, the story I have, my college roommate in college. I mean, I enjoyed watching field lacrosse.
Your college roommate was in college?
Yeah, my college roommate was in college. That's always good.
Sorry.
But I watched a little bit of field lacrosse. I wouldn't say I was a diehard by any stretch of the imagination, but I enjoyed it. he hated lacrosse. I think he had a bad experience with some lacrosse players in high school.
Well,
and
see, and a lot of
college.
people do. They have a bad experience with a lacrosse player, and then all of a sudden it's
never hated the sport, never wanted to watch it, never wanted to entertain it, nothing. And trying to get him to go to the Firewolves game, trying to explain to him, like, no, it's not the field game. It's different. It's different people.
I don't even think it's so. As a lifetime hockey player, and I mean, I played at some pretty competitive levels. Barry Melrose was my coach growing up. Glenn Murkowski. We got lucky. We were just in that
You
Adirondack.
got very
area.
lucky.
Yeah.
Barry Melrose was your coach.
Yeah. So I mean, we've played with the top levels, and I have never seen anything nearly as entertaining as this sport. Like, I mean, I understand hockey better than most people, and ever since I found box lacrosse, I just find it so much cleaner. The way the puck slaps around compared to the way there's control of the ball and a stick is just night and day difference.
But yeah, so yeah, couldn't get him to go to a game, wouldn't even watch, wouldn't ever entertain it. And we convinced him to go. It was last year or 2 years ago. Go for my birthday. CJ went like, "What are we doing for Joshua's birthday?" And CJ's like, "Come to a Firewolves game. He would really enjoy you being there." And he's like, "Okay, for Joshua's birthday, I'll go to a game."
I think I remember this kid sitting down there with you behind the glass.
And like now he's got a jersey and he's trying to get tickets.
No, but you can literally see it
love
throughout
it.
the game. I was watching you, like, you could see you explaining things at the beginning of the game, and by the end of the game, he's just beating the glass and yelling like all the rest
He
of
was
us.
into it. He loves it. He's been asking. The wife's come. She's enjoyed it. They got the schedule on the calendar. They've been texting like, we can't go to this game, but we can go to this game. Can we get tickets? I was like, of course you can get tickets whenever you guys want.
Yeah.
I
Honestly, the Firewolves ticket staff is probably the best people I've ever dealt with as far as buying, like a salespeople. They,
Oh, God.
yeah, I send them an email. They get back to me and they're like, "Hey, you okay?" Yeah, it's they make it so
Super
seamless.
easy.
I do love the Firewolf staff. They do things great. They I think have really figured out the marketing going after the. Now you see the ads on Facebook Marketplace as far as the
Yes.
game. Oh my God, Lyle Thompson's so good.
Yes. But they've definitely started. There's probably a little bit more they could do, but they've improved dramatically since the first year, and they're starting to understand the market. You could tell there's a lot of people who weren't from here and were kind of learning.
Well, Albany's a very unique city. So, like, most people think of Albany and they know it as New York State capital, so they're not really sure what to take it. But there is a very, I don't know, there's a lot of affluence in the surrounding communities as far as, like, most people don't understand how big all the cities are that are just around it that really have, like, these huge youth programs with, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like that's kind of what they'd be going after, and they didn't seem to focus on that. Whereas now they're focusing more on, you see all the youth teams coming in. You're starting to see more and more of that stuff. They were just expecting everybody to want to show up. They were like, "Hey, we're the Firewolves, come on!" And I mean, you've got some entrenched programs there where people have been teaching these kids since third grade. They're not just going to show up and
Field game. Albany's a big field hotbed for lacrosse.
they don't understand the difference. Well,
Paul, you're on mute.
Watch the next 15
I'll bring you
seconds.
back.
Watch the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, yep. I just saw it too. Yeah.
oh, oh my goodness! Yeah, you're not kidding. Zeddy Williams, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Silver
Dude.
Creek. There's another New York guy,
I was like,
and this is what killed me.
I didn't
mean,
see who it was. That goalie didn't see
So-
who it was.
no, Josh, did you
I
grow
don't
up in
know,
New York
Paul saw
State?
who it was.
Josh, you grew up in New York?
Yeah, I grew up in Hoosick Falls.
Okay, so Hoosick Falls. So you're even closer to me than I thought. But you guys
Well, I'm
don't
in
even have a
Brunswick.
lacrosse team, do you?
So Hoosick Falls got a lacrosse team. I think it was my junior year. They had a club team. My senior year was the first year they went varsity.
Aha. See, I didn't even
I
know you
don't
guys
know
had a team.
Have a team. I think they do. I remember it got big there. It was great to see it kind of build up. But I don't know what they're doing now.
Yeah, I don't
But,
keep track of high
you
school
know,
sports. Honestly, since I stopped listening to ESPN radio all the time with Dan Ball, that was where I got my high school updates. And as soon as I stopped spending so much time in the car, I literally kind of just was like, oh, now I don't do it. It was just part
Yeah.
of my routine as I was going to work and coming home, especially when I
Mhm.
worked by Albany, that hour commute every day. And then if traffic was bad, you're talking almost 2 hours some days. Yeah, I would just listen to 104.5, and they always covered all the local sports.
Yep. If my Spotify for whatever reason isn't working on my phone, I usually put on local ESPN radio station. I try to get it on when they do interview the Firewolves. It just requires me not having 7,000 meetings at the same time.
Yeah. Which is always tough.
But I was gonna say my buddy who hated lacrosse and never wanted to do anything and wanted nothing. He wanted his kids nothing to do with it. For Christmas, I got the eldest son who just turned, I should know this, 4, I think. I got him 2 like toddler lacrosse sticks, and the youngest one, who's going to turn 2 later this month, got him 2 hockey sticks. And the older one took a lacrosse stick and was all excited running around the house. And the younger one,
Yeah, now
I'm
we're
a
just
little
both
behind you
staring
with
at it.
my
We're
phone.
like, we saw Paul's face. We're just watching, waiting to see what
there it
Paul
goes.
was talking about.
Yeah, I just saw it. But yeah, the youngest one grabbed the lacrosse stick, grabbed the ball the hockey sticks, grabbed the ball from the hockey sticks, and ran over and grabbed the second lacrosse stick from the older brother. And the 2 of them were just running around the apartment playing, or running around the house playing lacrosse. They were so happy.
Oh, yeah. There is, they call it the medicine game, which, I mean, I know lacrosse isn't exactly, but there is something to it. The healing you get and the feeling you get from playing with, even just playing catch. Like, I like the wooden sticks, but oh my God, the athleticism of these freaks diving across the net, catches it, then pulls it back behind. How? Let's go.
What a save by Ward coming up.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
but
Now, how the hell did you get ahead of me now? Now you're ahead of me. Oh, wait. No. That's the other. I'm looking at I got 3 screens, like I said, and I'm looking at I'm like, wait.
I was
you're
like,
over
he's
here.
about 15 seconds
Paul,
behind
did
me.
you notice that is a 3-1-5 face-off going on, though?
It's a 3-1-5 face-off.
It's a 3-1-5 face-off.
Who do
You're
we
gonna have to
got?
explain that one to me.
You've got Tim
Yeah,
Edwards
dude.
and Jeremy Thompson.
Okay.
So you got Onondaga and Jamesville DeWitt, which is not called DeWitt all of a sudden.
It's DeWitt.
DeWitt?
You know what? I think they got a little bit better,
DeWitt.
better than DeWitt. That's it. He said do it. I'm like, I've never
Mountain
heard
Dew
of
with a net on the end of it. DeWitt.
You were
James DeWitt.
right. I thought you were talking about like some like face-off player they were doing, calling it a 3-1-5.
No. The area code. They're
There
3-1.
you
Yeah.
From the area code.
So Jeremy, you coached against Paul because I played against Jeremy and he was in Onondaga at the time.
Yes. There
Uh,
was
That fall ball
hey,
tournament you brought me to. So we showed up. I talked to a couple guys at hockey. Somebody said, "Hey, you ever played lacrosse?" I said, "Yeah, actually, long pole." I was pretty excited that they had a lacrosse team. Get out there, and they conned me into going to that first fall ball tournament in SUNY Poly. Very first
that
year.
was Bob said Bob was coaching up at SUNY Poly at that time.
So the first time I ever met you, I didn't even practice with you guys or nothing. They were like, "Come out to this fall ball tournament." I was like, "Okay." Showed up and fucking Jeremy Thompson takes the face off and runs by all of us and scores. And I was like, "Oh, oh, okay, it's like that here, huh?"
Rolling they were.
Oh,
Just
man.
freaking. I mean, I remember you asked who played what, and we had Pat Now, and I played long stick, and there was another guy, and we were all in the back, and Pat took the center because Pat was the most experienced too, so he's called it out, and that kid fucking ran by Pat. Like, Pat, I turned and looked at him, and he just goes, "Yeah, I don't know." I don't know.
Yeah, buddy. And
Oh,
Pat
man.
was pretty good. He was from Rochester.
He was a beast, yeah.
He was my very first to say coaching goal, head coach goal was scored by Pat Now against Herkimer and I didn't even get to see it because not that I was chirping. It wasn't a chirping thing, but me and Coach Wareham were talking, and I didn't see what had happened. Remember Bjorn
Moxus, some
And-
shit like that.
and what was the other one?
Mateus. Yeah, Mateus and Bjorn.
yes. Well, Mateus, he bulldogged. You guys have watched the British Bulldogs before, haven't you, in WWF wrestling? I got this. The kid's never played lacrosse before. He's a hockey player from Sweden or something like that.
He's a 25-year-old freshman at a JUCO. He's a 25-year-old freshman at a JUCO. This kid was a beast, bud. He was just a freak athlete in phenomenal shape too. And he's like, "I'll play lacrosse."
He didn't know a thing of what he was doing. Well, the kid was sweeping across the top and put the brakes on, and as far as instead of trying to stop what he do, he just grabbed him and bulldogged him right down into the ground. I'm like, oh no, you can't do that. Oh, what a goal that was! That was nice.
Yeah.
That was a huge goal right there. Back on top. 8 minutes left.
It's been a great
Back
game.
and forth. This is a great game. I better win it.
Do you guys know anything about the where's the goal? Oh jeez, I was like, where's Ward? Oh, sorry, I might be a little out of you.
They pulled him.
8 minutes left. Down a goal. Gotta get it.
He can come up to hey.
What? Yeah, watch this play. Goes in the corner, and Ward's just nowhere to be found.
Just out.
I'll reach around.
Reach around.
Careful there, buddy.
Hey, tell him this is supposed to be PG-13,
This is
guys. You can't be
right.
talking like that.
Yeah, well, it's after 9 now. You can.
What do you guys know about the lacrosse game they're doing before the Albany game? I think it's the 22nd.
No, the 15th.
Is it the
14th.
Oh, is it this one again?
It's
I
not
see.
this weekend. It's the next weekend game. Cause
Yeah, it's
we're-
like a week from now. Yeah.
yeah, we might be going down and filming the Sunday games. They actually just reached out to us.
Oh, interesting.
So-
I thought it was only Friday, Saturday,
No, it's Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay.
The players also thought it was Friday, Saturday, I believe, because I just talked to Hot Rod and he said, no, I think it's only Saturday. So I said, well, you didn't know it was Friday, Saturday, and now it's Saturday, Sunday. But yeah.
Needed that.
Yeah, so it's going to be, they call it ULAX. It's basically a step below like what Paul's league is with the NABLL, but you'll have a lot of those guys in there. So
Yeah.
you'll-
Rich Hodge, the Golden Bears. Are
I
bringing
told
the
him
team
to-
up.
yeah, I talked to him. He
Yeah, he
was
reached
gonna,
out to me today.
yeah, I know. I was talking to him when he was reaching out to you.
Oh, okay.
He asked,
Yeah.
and I said, because I said Justin, and that was a nice goal, but I said Justin and those guys are running Albany. I said that run College City, and I said, but they already have a team in, so I don't know if it's going to help any. And he was talking about you, and I said, yeah, I would. And then I told him, I said, talk to you, but I was actually going to reach out to Suits or Conzo and see what they were doing, because he was looking for a couple D transition guys.
Yeah, Jimmy had expressed interest. Jimmy Fay. He said he needed long ball, so I'm not too sure if they are or not. Nobody, I said, get in touch with me, so hopefully somebody does.
I'll reach out to Fay Farms. Actually, Jimmy's, I think, one of the only guys I got their number. His actual phone number. Most of the guys that reach out through social media, which means I got to sit down on the computer because I don't put the social media apps on my phone.
Yeah, I'm looking up the schedule. It says only Sunday. I thought they were going to play before the Firewolves.
They are.
Huh.
Yeah, don't worry. That'll
Yeah.
change 3 more times. This is the
Yeah.
world of box lacrosse, Josh.
Yeah,
You might not be
exactly.
used to this,
Apparently.
but it's very much fly by the seat of your pants and expect everything to change about 5 or 6 times before it finally happens.
Yeah, that's why it's a hard time. I've learned the hard way as far as trying to run a tournament. Laxney does an incredible job. What Scott Neese does for the box lacrosse sport, he puts on a awesome tournament. And everybody else is basically trying to, compete with that right there. And there's no comparison because he puts on a great Great product. Bear Paw does a nice job. As far as, but once again, trying to do it, you get 3-4 teams that 2 of them say, yeah, we're in. And then 2 days or a week beforehand, all of a sudden, we can't make it.
Yeah, Bear
It's
Paw
like,
doesn't
what
have
do you mean?
BSP though.
Right. That's true. This is true.
I see that.
Although-
Give
this
it to them.
tournament only 2
No
teams.
goal. Nice save, Doc.
Nashville's a lot warmer than it is here when they go. So
It is.
So we will definitely anywhere it's warm. I've told people.
Folks.
We travel where
that
it's
was-
warm and we don't do field lacrosse anymore because it's too cold.
It is cold.
You want me to
That's
do
all
like
you
a
think.
July field lacrosse game? I seen your face, so I've been staring at it. I'm just glued on the screen, like, come on!
Out the box he comes.
Oh! Who can stop this man? So this kid had 1 goal before last week. So now,
Rookie.
yeah, now his 4th goal of the game. We did a whole thing on him last week with Stamper there.
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah, that kid's on fire. Kid is absolutely on fire. And we actually have 6 other people watching right now. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm not quite sure who
absolutely.
likes to listen to us talk, but we do appreciate every one of you.
Ramble on.
Ramble on.
Ramble on.
Once me. Whoa, that's been waiting for it. Another save by Dobson.
So I'm looking at this ULAX thing. It looks like the Albany division only has 2 teams.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
6.
Oh, there's 6?
Yeah,
Okay.
don't try to look anything up, Josh. So I actually do very well in the world of box lacrosse because the entire community is about as organized as I am. We're kind of loose and just fly by the seat of our pants, and we're all pretty comfortable with it. It's the only reason it works. If you get too many people like you that like being organized, it screws things up. Beautiful save, Dauber. You were right.
Oh, man. I was just trying to figure out, like, when the game is, and if I show up, can I watch?
It's Sunday, yeah, you can. So
Okay.
Sunday, I believe we start around 10. It'll be done at 3.
Okay.
I don't know what their plan is for Saturday. I know Hot Rod's going, and all the guys that are playing are getting tickets. So I would imagine our attendance on that night should look really good. Because you've also got 6 teams that have free tickets with their tournament entry. Most of the guys are going to be from out of town, so they're going to be in the area anyways. The way they're doing that little bar thing, I would say that what is that bar called where they have their little party now? The one that's
Little
attached
bar.
to the
Little bar
to the
attached.
Pepsi, to the MVP.
Oh, the stadium bar?
Stadium
It's just
bar.
called the stadium.
Yeah,
Stadium
that's
bar.
how hard it is to remember. It's called the Stadium Bar. But the stadium bar at the stadium is will probably be pretty packed because I know Hot Rod and those guys will all, I'm sure, shut her down.
Oh,
And none of them will show up for the game in the morning except for me and Charity there to film it.
Still nobody.
That has happened. We've showed up before for tournaments in the morning on Sunday morning, and me and Charity are the only ones there. And you get like 2 or 3 guys from one team, and it's like, what's going on, guys?
They're
Yeah.
playing the new version of Sixes.
yeah.
The new version of Sixes where they're like, hey, camera crew, you guys want to play?
Oh, you laugh. It happens at championships. As far as it happened to us against when we went out to Columbus, Ohio. For Albany didn't show up the next day to play their game, or somebody didn't, and we ended up getting a game against the Wheat Kings. Not the Wheat Kings, the Seattle Kings.
Seattle Kings with a couple of the Collar City Kings. Yeah, so the Collar City Kings, which is the Troy team, showed up with 12 guys to nationals. 3 guys got injured, the rest of them got drunk, and that was the end of their nationals.
That was
That's
done.
the lacrosse team right there.
Yeah.
Well, they went to the who was it? Ohio State had a game the next day. I think maybe against Notre Dame. Or,
Yeah,
that's a big penalty. Big penalty right there.
that's huge.
Yeah. 4 minutes left in the game, and
Are
you're
they-
getting.
They're calling both. They got
They got them both.
They got them both. I like
Okay.
that embellishment call last week. That was impressive. I love that they called the penalty and still called the embellishment, though. I was like, wait, what? Usually it's one or the other.
I love sports they call embellishment.
Yes.
Play through, don't sell calls.
Yeah. See, that's that 315 attitude right there.
I love it. They,
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes on sportsmanlike embellishment. So they give the guy a cross-check penalty, and they give the guy that got cross-checked a 2-minute embellishment penalty.
It wasn't that hard.
Yes, it was illegal, but stop being a pansy, all right?
All right.
Shh. I'll put the game on.
Okay.
I'm gonna go mute.
No, that's good every time I see it because then I can just. Oh man!
Highlight coming.
Now
Yeah,
I got it
needed
covered.
that. We need a little space. That's all.
A little ahead. I'm behind Paul, but I had Greg.
Had a Greg behind Paul. All right.
Yep. I just watched it.
Oh,
Needed that.
I think Dobson's gonna come up
Zeddy.
with that one.
right? Yeah.
Got
Oh,
the
man.
hat trick. That's a hattie.
Those fans they just showed for Colorado right there. I think they were at the game in Albany last year.
Yeah, some of them actually. Colorado does travel pretty well, but especially Zed, you would got to figure he's from New York. There's probably some relatives that are traveling.
Where's Dylan Ward from?
He's Canada.
Or he's Canadian.
Yeah, he's.
That's
doing
all
it.
I
You know
know.
whereabouts? Toronto?
No. It's all the same once you
Orangeville?
get up north, but it's all one country. You got the
Yeah.
French-speaking ones. I think he's an English one.
The English side.
That's pretty much how I tell them apart.
Oh man.
Out the door.
Oh, man, I'll tie it up.
I want to say it was somehow not related or something with Dylan Ward.
You're
They were.
related to Dylan Ward?
No, the people who showed up last year for the Mammoth Firewolves game, I think they knew Ward somehow, which was making me wonder, like, where is he from? Holy cow. No goal, but still. Ooh. No?
What a save. What a save.
Oh!
Right there.
And they want the call, yeah.
A little too much business. Perhaps.
Boy, that's him and Edwards again. There has been a lot of 315 hate on hate. You know, a lot of 315 on 315 happening.
I was like, I'm going to say something to make the Buffalo fans angry. But that was a Bandits player that did that 2 minutes at most. They probably wouldn't even call it.
Nah, moving pick. Moving pick.
Yep. That was it.
Oh, that he did get him on the side of the helmet. I don't think it was deliberate at all.
No.
No.
I was like, I honestly, I think this is.
The replay shows it.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't seen when I first saw it, I was like, 2.
It almost kind of. I thought it was
up, which is
not
a 2.
necessarily a dive, but he got clipped him with the open arm in the ear area.
It's definitely 2. In my mind, this is.
Yeah, he didn't have his hand on his stick.
Yeah. Like that to me, that's clearly a 2, but I don't think it's anything worse than that.
Yeah, no malicious intent.
You got him in the shoulder, it rode up.
Yeah, it's only because you're not the one getting punched in the ear. Trust me, you're the
I'm
one
on
getting
the
punched in the ear. You're going to
side.
think a little different about that, too.
How about the fans that are heckling the snot? You're going to see it in a second here. The fans behind in the penalty box.
I love it.
It's,
I love it. Those are my favorite fans. I love the little kids behind the penalty box. I love the trash talk to the other team. It's all part of it. Yeah.
Who was the guy who climbed out of the penalty box for Halifax and Albany?
That was Dawson. Who was it? Was that Dawson Theed? No, it wasn't. It was
Or was it Bell?
No. No, Bell was this year.
that was this year.
Oh, that might have been. That sounds like a Stotts thing, but it might have been.
It wasn't Stotts. The Stotts was still in the field, clobbering the guy. And then
That's right.
slightly
That's
to,
right. He was still in the field clobbering. Yoakum still hasn't played right since then.
Is he on your team anywhere?
Yeah. Here's the real question: is Buffalo going undefeated this year?
You already got my. I know that.
I don't think they go into. I still think they win it all. They were my pick to win it all. to start
Review.
the season. They're still picked to win it all this year.
Yeah.
I don't think they go undefeated though.
Everybody else says that too, but I tell you what, when the experts talk and then you hear all the people like Paul and Bob and everybody else talking, there's magic in that. I'm telling you, they can feel it. I think the team that's gonna, I'm not saying they can't lose, but I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo doesn't lose during the regular season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many of these we were just talking about their all the bye weeks they've had? They played a handful of games and get some rest, and handful of games and get some rest.
Right, but
They're gonna
all the
have to
players
play.
would rather keep playing to keep their flow going. So I think once the season starts, because especially you look at most of their big players, they played Worlds, but they don't have a ton of guys that were playing all over the place. They had a break. They had a couple of breaks here. Like I said, I think having their defense have as much time off as they did is huge.
But they're going to start playing every week, and I think they got a couple back-to-backs coming up too.
Yeah.
Greg,
I'll start
play-
wearing on you.
Greg, playing off of what you can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. In regards to also though, with nice save, with the Bandits.
Mhm.
You know how much those guys, those two, Josh and
Dane Smith,
Dane Smith,
great Dane.
they know each other's tendencies so great. I mean, there's no other combination in the NLL that is nearly even remotely as close as to what those two understand each other. They work so. They got a right-left tandem that are incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, they're not there yet by any stretch of the imagination, but watching Alex Simmons and Ty Kurtz this year, there's been some passes where like you just know that the two of them really know where the other one is.
Honestly, though, I think Ethan
Right,
Walker is probably. I think it with Ewok, if he gets up to stuff, I really think him and Simmons. Yeah, no, I mean you're right though. Walker does have a good flow, and Walker is one of the most under.
Oh, holy cow!
Yeah, that was huge.
Has there been any talk with Paulus or still nothing?
I don't think they want him. Honestly, I think if they wanted Marshall back, he'd be back already.
So now they just rather sorry.
Oh man, so Colorado's gonna pull ahead. I can tell they're in that end unless there's a big transition goal.
I buffered and got behind. What the heck? Oh no!
Nice
Yeah.
pick.
Now it doesn't know what to do. Oh, it's lagging bad. Oh no!
Oh no, he says.
I've lost all control.
That Ryan Lee?
Yeah.
Was. Ryan Lee.
Needed that. Needed that, boys. That is one that we need. I got to catch back up to. I got a step ahead of Gregory and catch back up the Juice.
Oh,
Who did I pick in this game? I don't even remember.
I think you may have went with the Georgia because of. I think there was two Georgia and myself because Greg wasn't there to pick. OJ picked the Swarm, and I think you picked the Swarm, and I picked the.
I picked
Colorado.
one away team. I just don't remember which away team I picked. Oh,
Maybe you picked Colorado as well.
I'll know when I look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't take Colorado.
I forgot to take a screenshot of it
Philadelphia.
actually this week too.
Yeah, no, I took Colorado. So I think I said Colorado, and I went sorry, Kai, and then I went.
Yeah. No, it was
Vancouver,
me and you
sorry,
picked Colorado.
I think I took Colorado.
Yeah. It was Kai. Was it Prairie Tan? No, Prairie Tan. It was Kai. He got there late. He started early. OJ was on fire.
OJ, yeah, that was a pretty good show. OJ stepped up huge there for me.
He was huge.
Needed
He
him in
was
the
awesome.
last couple of minutes. He jumped in and ran it.
He ran the show.
So that was a big part of how I got into this. I started teaching OJ how to do a lot of this stuff, and it just kind of yeah, blew up. We were having a good time. I first met OJ. I was like, you could do all this, bud. You're fine. He's pretty computer savvy. He understands things pretty good.
Right?
I was
He's
like,
not, he doesn't have neckarism. He's all good.
I was like, I should have offered to jump on for you guys.
Yeah, no, the only OJ gets nervous sometimes and doesn't trust himself quite right. And I'm always, good goal, of course. But I always tell him, I'm like, you're smart enough, bud. Just relax and have fun. You'll be fine.
Have some
Absolutely.
fun.
He definitely knows what he's talking about. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we brought him out to Worlds. I love that's one of my favorite pictures. So I've got a picture of him running the stream with Teddy Jenner calling the game. I mean, you talk about being able to put a smile on somebody's face, so like,
They put Teddy Jenner on a game on field too?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But we ended up with all these big games. It was so crazy. We ended up with the first ever women's world game. Every somewhat important game that wasn't on field one, we ended up with somehow. I have no idea. It was crazy. We ended up
There were
with
some really good games on the Nexus one.
yeah.
We were
And then
talking
ended up
to
with a
Tuna a
bunch.
bunch.
There was so many. It was crazy to watch Worlds just in general. You see, then our problem was then we get to Lax Night. So like we were at Worlds and we were doing I don't know probably like your 10 through 15 teams I'll say. Then all of a sudden we show up to Lax Night and we're back up into the top like 5 to 10. Like when you talk talent level in the world, the teams that were there. I mean, you got Grennan diving through the air doing crazy. So we go from doing like 10 to 15 to 5 to 10, and you wouldn't think that's a big difference, but that is huge on the camera. Like I jumped on the camera for one of the Lax Night games, and I was like, oh God, I can't keep up with the sun. I don't know how you do it. I was like, it's just terrible. I think her job is the worst one in the business. That camera sucks. You don't know what happened in the game. You've got no clue who scored. You're just following the action so much, and you're so zoomed in on trying to like pay attention to the shot that you really miss most of the game.
Yeah. And you got to pay, myself, I've been on the camera and you start watching the game. You can't do that. And because you forget that you're filming the damn game, and it's like, oh.
I was like,
Shit, that was a really cool
Sorry.
goal I watched.
That was a great goal. Sorry about that. I didn't get that awesome behind the back through the legs, kiss it off the top. Hold it. Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
These guys are banging the ball like crazy. Oh!
We'll all be quiet so we can hear the call.
Eccleston fires, goes into the netting. It's tipped. It'll stay with the Swarm. Empty net. Thompson not in it. 6 on 5. Cole back for Jackson. Back door. Miles Thompson.
Oh man, he should have taken that fucking shot as soon as he got it.
Loose ball. Lyle Thompson gets it. Final shot, and it's saved.
That's it, baby.
What a game. What a game.
There
That
we
was
go.
awesome. We needed that. Good job. Good job,
Yeah,
Josh.
it was a
Good job.
good win for me.
That was a good win for me, too. We are now ahead of Gregory. Woo-woo!
We've all been at it, Greg. Since
I can only say that.
It's not hard.
Greg, who would have you picked? Swarm or Mammoth?
Honestly, looking at it, just because of Kai, I would have picked Georgia.
Okay.
I honestly think Colorado is the most underrated team this year. I think Colorado is going to exceed everybody's expectations.
they've
but-
already exceeded mine.
Yeah.
That's
Well-
why I've been riding them. I've been picking them the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks in a row. I picked them.
And rightfully so. I think so Ryan Lee came back. That was huge. They got that Malcolm kid, McLaughlin. I mean, when Dylan Ward is hot, that's what it all comes down to. It's just like the Firewolves. If Dougie's hot, Firewolves are going to win. Their offense will get this 13 goals, no problem. You need those 3-4 extra saves.
Kelly Malcolm Lee Williams. That's a pretty good 1, 2, 3, 4. That's
Yep.
not bad.
I don't know, Greg. There was I'm trying to remember which interview Clarkey did, but they were talking about the dispersal draft, and said like, what were your thoughts on the dispersal draft?
He didn't touch it.
It shouldn't have been reverse order of finish for this 1 year. It should have been like a 5-year average.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that Colorado is the worst team in the league, and they got the #1 pick. Like they were hurt last year. That's what killed them. and getting healthy and getting Will Malcolm in. They're pretty good.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, you kind of say that, but that's the whole idea of the draft pick is you kind of reward the teams that are shitty. Yeah, it sucks that they did it, and I understand their theory on wanting to do the 5-year plan, but I don't know. That's how you get. That's how you get these years.
For the entry draft, that makes a lot of sense, but for the dispersal draft, you got some like established talent. I
don't know what established talent. What like actually established talent do you think you were getting out of Panther City?
Well, I mean, Will Malcolm.
I don't know if he was established. He didn't look that good there.
No,
He did okay, but the problem is he's not your number one guy. You know, they made him in Panther City. He had to be number one. Here he can be 2 or 3 and sit in the background a little bit. I think that's huge. I don't think people take enough credit with how hard that was for Alex Simmons to step up last year. Most guys can't come in and be a number one guy. Like I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to think of anybody in any other sport or any time that you can come into your rookie season and step into a year like Alex Simmons did.
I'm just looking at I just pulled the dispersal draft here. So Will Malcolm went first, and that was kind of expected. Jonathan Dunville. Nick
Damoud, yeah. He went to Philly.
Yep. Ryan Sheridan.
Yeah.
Matthew Gauthier.
Gautier's actually been on a tear. He's playing up in Calgary.
Yep. Matt Hasek.
Hasek, yeah. Graham's brother. He's actually in the top 5 defenders of the year if you listen to Stamp and Levy.
I mean, that's number 6.
Yeah.
From Panther City. So there's definitely some talent here that some guys got.
I think that Damoud pick was huge, though, because it allowed him to get rid of Zach Higgins. And look what they got for Zach Higgins, though. I mean, and now they're sitting there, and I honestly think Philadelphia made out better than anybody. I mean, Panther City folding, I think, Colorado made out okay by getting Malcolm. I don't think you can put a price tag on a decent goalie. A goalie that gives you 80% save percentage, I would trade my first-round pick for 3 years in a row. Not a question. Maybe 4. I might even give away 5 years, honestly. Honestly, though, because if you have a goalie if you get a goalie and you get 10 years of production out of him and you can get 8 out of the 10 years to be an 80% save percentage, you're doing better than a 100-point goal scorer.
Oh, I mean, if you've got a goalie that's 80%, yes. But, I mean, would you do 3 first-round picks for,
100%.
For the Vegas goalie who just got benched?
Landon Kells? I'm not a big Landon Kells fan. Stamper loves him. I think he's too small. I think he plays in the Canadian style, and he is so used to playing with those 3-inch smaller nets that it hurts him. So you see these guys playing, and like a lot of the American goalies and goalies that play in different leagues, they're used to jumping back and forth. I mean, you teach these guys, so they're picking their points because, like, you see a lot of goalies, they touch the stick or they always have a foot on the post or something like that to get their point. Whereas you see a lot of these goalies aren't looking so much to touch the post with their stick or their heel. They're actually picking like a spot on the bench. And that's where they set themselves off because that ball moves even faster and cleaner in box lacrosse, so you don't really have a chance to set your point. I'm honestly not a big Landon Kells fan. I think he's the most overrated goalie in the league as far as I'm concerned. I've not ever watched a game and thought, man, that Landon Kells can take it over. And that includes MSL games. And I've watched him play quite a few of them for the Peterborough Lakers. And I think, so basically one thing you will notice is anybody that plays for the Lakers, Stamper loves. So he absolutely overrates anybody that plays for Peterborough just because of that. And honestly, I'm not a big Kells fan. I think that 3 inches is huge. I would start Getty until he proves different. Like even though he only had 33 saves, which is not good. Like you look at it, they gave up 16 goals, 33 saves last week. That's not the number you're looking for. But I mean, how many times has Kells had that game? Way too many, I think. I don't know. I'm not giving it to him. I would have watching Getty.
I thought Getty played awesome. I watched him last week.
And I'm glad the kid's getting a chance.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's what I think this league needs a little bit more of also is that what sucks is they don't have the 80, 100 games like the NHL and stuff like that.
But
So
you
the
also don't have
goalies-
extra teams. You don't have a
True.
lot of extra teams.
You don't have, and all these goals, the kid in Saskatchewan out of nowhere, you know, all of a
Oh
sudden,
yeah, no, he played really well.
you know, he had a half, a shutout going into the halftime last week.
Is
And-
that he's playing that good, or is that Albany just can't get their shit figured out on offense?
No, I think he played that well. I
Yeah.
mean, you look at the beginning of that game, he got lit up. And then all of a sudden, he kind of just figured it out and locked in. And he was making some highlight saves.
He was, but
I think
also
he
I
did.
will say one thing about Simmons is very predictable. Like, it's not hard to figure out he's going short side. He's going to fake far side, and he's throwing it short side. He does it every time. And until he kind of changes that, so, like, that's where you'll make these goalies look better. So, like, Travis Longboat, so you throw Trav in, you don't know where he's shooting from. Walker, when he shoots, you don't know where he's shooting from. I can tell you right now, Kurtz is more than likely going to go short side, and so is Simmons. They just naturally do, and it's really weird. You watch them, they all fake far and come back. Simmons does it really well because he drives his body in and he drives that shoulder like he's going to dive across. And as soon as he starts acting like he's going to dive across, he uses his shoulder to actually block the defender in his elbow and comes back and throws that twister short side. And Kurtz does a very similar thing, whereas Longboat doesn't quite. So it's kind of easy to figure those guys out. I'm not going to say, you know, it's super easy and everybody should, but I will say that when you watch Alex Simmons, he's got some tendencies that's very easy to kind of pick out. Because honestly, so if you take a goalie like Matt Vince, who doesn't move a lot, he's very stationary, plays that position. I guarantee you he has watched enough film. He will see as soon as Simmons takes that step, as soon as he comes back, he's not going back far side. He'll either throw that far side right off the bat, or he fakes far and comes near. He's not doing both. He
I
that
will
is
say, I pulled up Tom. I'm not trying to pronounce the kid's name from
Kasich?
Saskatchewan. Yeah, he won the game last week against San Diego. Who I figured they're going to take a step back this year. They still have some talent on that team, but he let up 8 goals on 44 shots.
yeah, no, it's Kazik, actually. I'm looking at it now. I
Kazik.
remember now. So it's
82 save percentage.
yeah, Thomas Kazik.
I was like, I think he's pretty good. But like what Paul was saying, I wish they had more teams and gave more chances to these players. Also, getting more teams gets you into more markets, which gets you more exposure, which gets more people and kids excited about the game and picking up the sticks.
All right.
And it just is this self-fulfilling.
100%. But here's the problem with every small business, and Paul Necker can speak on this. Paul, how long have you owned the Utica Yeti?
Going on year 5.
Have you ever made a profit?
No.
You tell me a business, Josh, in your first 5 years that makes a profit. If you can pay
How
off, if you can pay off your equipment, you're happy, right? If you can cover, right, if you can cover your cost, you're happy. If you're an NLL team that can cover your cost, how many people have enough money to put 5 years in the bank of an NLL team?
Mhm.
And that's what you need anytime you start a new business. You're basically taking your first 5 years. I learned this in college, and it's the one thing that I've actually found that I learned in college that really stayed true forever. Is your first 5 years of any small private business, you're basically working for free. If you try to figure out what you make an hour, you're making about, half a penny an hour if you're lucky.
Negative. You're paying 25 to the red.
Exactly. You're paying change per hour. And I mean, that's kind of how it goes. And unless somebody has a shitload of money that they're going to dump into something, you're not going to. I mean, so how many times has Albany moved? They started out as they were Philadelphia. They ended up in New England. They've been in Albany.
So when they moved from Philadelphia to New England, it was the
Arena.
guy sold the majority of his stake to Mohegan Sun, and that's why they moved there. And then Ollie, what's Ollie's last name? The guy who owns the team now bought the majority stake from Mohegan Sun and moved him to Albany.
Because everybody's convinced that Albany's going to sell 20,000 seats. How long you lived in the Albany area, Josh?
My whole life.
You ever seen anything besides a rock concert sell 20,000 tickets or 10,000 tickets, whatever the
Well, I
capacity
mean, that
is?
arena only holds 15,000. I mean,
I've been to an
only thing I've
AC/DC
seen
concert
close
there
were-
where I guarantee you there was 20,000 people there.
when you sell the floor, that helps.
That's what I mean, though. Is
the
like
only thing
so
that-
at best you're doing 20,000 though. Have you ever seen a sports event that does more than 10?
The only two I can come up with is when Syracuse came to town and played Siena. That place was packed.
Not because of
And,
Siena.
And then back in the heyday of Siena, a couple of those U Albany Siena games had.
Well, so you're
Well,
talking like the mid 2000 or the early 2000s,
Yes.
and that was different though. But and a lot of those guys were there to see Albany, and honestly, that U Albany
Oh, yeah.
team though. So that was what right around when
Oh.
U Albany made the final. They made the 64 bracket, so they finally made March Madness. So I mean, you're talking a how many times has U Albany made March Madness in your lifetime? Twice.
5
Yeah.
times.
5 times at
Maybe.
best. So that's what I'm saying. But that's a sport that's been in Albany, Albany's inner city. You've got a lot of basketball, a lot of youth programs compared to lacrosse, and they could barely
Absolutely.
sell out for that, which is as big as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, in Albany's heyday, we're talking when Fran McCaffrey was there, and you had Edwin Uvalis and Tay Fisher and Kenny Hasbrook. I'm missing a bunch of them. Franklin, and they went to 3
You could
tournaments.
just start
in a
making
row.
up names. I honestly wouldn't know.
My dad had season tickets. I went to a ton of those games. I always been a big Siena guy. They were averaging about 8,000, and that's an established basketball team and market.
Albany is not a very favorable market to sports teams. It's just unfortunate. The worst thing that ever happened to the Glens Falls area was when Albany brought in the Utica Devils to be the Albany River Rats. It killed.
The Albany River Rats did really well back in the 90s and early 2000s. It was when
Why-
they brought in the Albany Devils. That didn't go so well.
No. It didn't go so well as soon as Glens Falls lost their actual team.
We're talking about the Adirondack.
The Red Wings. Back when it was the
Yeah,
Red
the
Wings,
Blue
they were really good. But what happened is when you took all of the people from Clifton Park South and took them out of the Glens Falls market, it split the market. Glens Falls isn't a big enough market to support them, so they lost. And what ended up happening was everybody lost because then Albany couldn't keep a team after Glens Falls didn't have a good team. Glens Falls had a great team. They used to sell out, but then they lost all the people that were in that short market. And I tell you, that it was too much competition in too short of an area. And honestly, nobody was driving because, like, I'm not going to drive to Albany to watch River Rats game. After growing up watching all of the Red Wings guys getting to play as I was a kid, I mean, you were watching Hasek, Osgood. I mean, you saw everybody. Like it was the best of the best. And then we ended up with UHL, then ECHL, and then the Devils farm team down in Albany.
I mean, the issue is up here you have hockey fans that have established teams. Like I'm a Rangers fan. Am I going to go watch the Devils farm team? Maybe, probably not.
Everybody
but if
up
the Rangers
here-
farm team came, I'd get season tickets in a heartbeat.
Yeah, see, but everybody in Glens Falls was a Detroit Red Wings fan until
Because
'93.
it was the farm team, yes.
Until
Actually, I know a
'93.
buddy of mine who is from that area, and he's like, I'm a Red Wings fan because
Every one of us
Adirondack
was.
Red Wings.
But that was because the farm teams used to be the pro teams. So like I knew if I took like all of the guys that were coming, they were all going to be up in the pro league in the next couple of years. Your autographs used to mean more. I mean, honestly, box lacrosse needs an American ALL. I know they call the ALL the American Lacrosse League. There's not one team south of the border.
I didn't even know there was an ALL.
Yeah. Stamper calls some of the games. I've got a bunch of kids that play in our Can-Am leagues and stuff that play in it. Is the reason I know. I've done a couple highlights for guys that have done some things. I don't know. I think the problem is, though, it's such a Canadian thing. It's hard to...
well, it's their national sport. Not for nothing. It's their national sport. That's why, it's not field lacrosse. When they say lacrosse, it's box lacrosse. That's why it's so they don't play field. Yeah, I was watching the Creators podcast the other day, and they actually had a topic of this in regards to the growth of field lacrosse in Canada is kind of similar to the growth of box lacrosse in the States, and it's box lacrosse is far more interesting, in my personal opinion.
Well, no, because they had the infrastructure built for it. So when they started box lacrosse in Canada, it wasn't because you had a bunch of kids that wanted to play lacrosse. It was because you had a bunch of hockey rinks who needed to make some fucking money. So they had a completely right. They had a, now that they put ice down, box lacrosse isn't even as big because now they're making more money with hockey in some of those spots. But that being said, it's a completely different motivational factor. So, like, American kids have so many options. Unfortunately, we think baseball's a sport for some reason. I still can't figure that one out. But, I mean, we count it. And if I was an American kid who's lazy, I'm lazy because I'm a new American kid. Supposedly, that's what they all are. I can sit on my ass and watch two people that play the sport. You've got the pitcher and the guy that's up to bat. The guy catching might be involved if it doesn't bounce off his chest, I guess. He catches it. But, I mean, honestly, you've got two people playing the sport. I mean, it's not a very spectator-friendly sport. It's fun as a kid to play in the backyard, but once you get into these pitching duos, I got no interest in watching any of it.
It's boring. It's boring. And then somebody gets pegged with the ball, and the bench comes out like they're gonna brawl. So what? Come on now.
That's cute, isn't it? You ever seen a baseball player throw a punch? It's cute. It's cute.
Oh man, but
Get away.
I mean, just also, just now there's just so many more things you can do for entertainment. I mean, heck, how many people are on the live stream right now? Like, that wasn't a thing 10 years ago.
No, 100%. We've had 50 people watch this since we've been streaming. It's crazy that 50 people have turned in. It still blows my mind. But no, that's a huge point right there. So, I mean, and especially when it comes to entertainment, you're going to watch something. So you're just watching something that you're not playing in or don't have any actual emotional attachment. You're not going to watch. It's got to be exciting like this. I wish they would push this a little more and maybe field a little less. But all the money in the States is in college.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I really think the NLL has got to do a better job of marketing. You have a great product, market it, and don't think that your marketing is just here we are, enjoy us. I mean, it's a great sport, and yes, you see it, you're gonna love it, but like you got to do more than that.
Here's a prime example: Tyson Bell happens. He gets 3 million views on Barstool, plus way more than that, right?
Yeah.
So you would think the NLL would jump in right now and start advertising like crazy? Not a fucking peep. They're getting all kinds of marketing stuff, though. Have you noticed how much more their commercials are filling up in between the quarters? It started with we had a lot of commercial break in progress. Now we're getting to the point where we hardly ever have that. So you're getting commercial. And do you think the NLL is taking that money and dumping it in? I don't watch a ton of stuff, but I'm online enough to know if you're spending money on it. Like, I can tell you that the Firewolves are dumping money into marketing because it kicks up on my phone. I cannot tell you, not once have I had an advertise, thing come from the NLL. And I'm about as into lacrosse as it gets as far as box lacrosse. You don't get much more into box lacrosse than the Beecher family who has started Blue Squash Productions, and this is literally all we do now. And I have not gotten one NLL box, lacrosse promotion. You don't spend money, you're not going to make it.
I mean, the flip of it, look at the PLL and just how much just mass marketing they
Honestly, do you know what I think the PLL's biggest thing was? So you had, what's that kid's name that started it there? That fucking kid. He played box for a couple of years, couldn't really cut it.
Yeah.
Rabel.
Rabel. Right?
Paul
So
Rabel.
Paul Rabel, if you watch any of his videos, like he wasn't a great lacrosse player. He's not teaching these kids technical skills. Hell of an
I
athlete.
wouldn't say he wasn't a great lacrosse player.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
He wasn't to the
He,
echelon
no,
of
he wasn't a great lacrosse player. Josh, argue with me that he was. Give me 1 point that Paul Rabel was a great lacrosse player.
he was not bad.
I didn't say he was
I
a
don't
bad
know if
lacrosse
he's a
player.
scrub.
I'm just saying he's not the best.
Oh, he's not the
He
best.
was-
He's not in the top 10.
He was probably in the top 20.
But I'm
go
saying
that far.
he's not in the top 10, not even close.
Yeah, but
if you put him in the top 20, you're putting him at 19.
Yeah, the top. Not for nothing. There's a lot of great lacrosse players that have come through. To be in the top 20 is pretty good.
Right, but
even-
everybody knows Paul Rabel's name. Nobody knows Jim Brown played the fucking lacrosse.
Yeah.
right. Well, it's also
No,
because
Paul Rabel marketed. He had 20 years worth of lacrosse content uploaded on YouTube. So when he started the business and people started clicking on his name, guess what they found? A bunch of videos, which is all these little kids want to watch. Tell me how to do this. Tell me how to do this. They don't care if it's right, wrong, or indifferent. They're going to watch Paul Rabel shoot the ball 1,000 miles an hour. Who cares if he doesn't hit the net? He shoots it real fast.
Oh yeah, and I mean, what Paul did was he had weekly videos, and would show
He's a
something
marketing
interesting and say,
genius. I will tell you right now,
"Come
that
watch
kid
the PLL game."
that kid is in the top 10 in marketing in the world, hands down.
Completely good. Yeah,
I'm not putting
absolutely.
him in my top 100 lacrosse players. Not even
100.
close.
She's falling
I'm
down
not
the
putting him in my top
Right.
100. Not even fucking close. I honestly won't. I'll give you, he's a top 10, maybe even a top 5 marketer. If you look what that kid and his brother have done, they're geniuses. They are at that next level. He's not
Well,
that
it's
good of a
more
lacrosse
it-
player.
It's more of him. It's more of him and his because of his ability to play that it has sold the PLL concept to all these players. He didn't last very long in field. There's a reason, or in box lacrosse. When the wings,
he's definitely one
the
of the
wings-
best lacrosse players.
yeah,
2 years.
There's a
He's not a boxer. That's why if you can't play 5 seasons in the NLL, you're not making my top 100 lacrosse players. Not even close.
I'll give you that. But as far as 2 different styles of game, though.
I don't even
Yeah,
care. I will take any one of those top 100 people and put them up against any one. I'll give you the top 10 field players of all time that don't make that list, and I'll bet you my 90 through 100 beat you.
All right.
I was like,
I'll-
we should have some fun. Can you
Oh.
do a community? Can you do a community poll?
I would, but it's past my bedtime. I turned into a pumpkin here.
Well, I just mean you could post it like tomorrow.
Yes,
leave it up
I-
for a week.
I,
Like,
I'll
is
have-
Paul Rabel one of the top 50 lacrosse players of all time. I'd be curious. I don't know. I'm curious what people would say.
I don't think it's close.
In field, you're going to get yes.
I'm not asking if he's the
Bob-
top 50 field most recognizable names. I mean, he's in the top 10 most recognizable names. I don't think he's in the top 100.
Does anyone in the chat say anything? I mean, I'm gonna be kind of curious now.
No,
Yeah,
I think most people are gonna, especially if they're on this channel, they're box lacrosse fans. They're not.
Lacrosse guys.
They're
That's
not
fair,
Paul
that's
Rabel
fair.
fans.
Yes. 2 different styles. I'm not a big Paul Rabel fan at all. I'm probably one of the least because of how he went about getting his the league. He kind of took the boys and said, "Let's go do something different," which is a good thing, bad thing. But when you have investments and something that is running, it makes it tough. But on the positive is he made it a players' league where the guys are actually allowed to make some money outside of just being whether you're game dressed or not.
Well, not
So-
even just that. So, I mean, you can't argue that other than him taking the guys away from not being able to play in multiple leagues, which I completely understand. I won't even argue. I think it's 100% a business responsibility decision that you're going to make when you have this kind of money tied up. No, I mean, he 100% has started a great business. I think what he's done for the sport of field lacrosse, I don't know if anybody else in my generation has even come close to doing. Like as far as what he's done marketing, making it popular, getting people out there, getting a new league, getting these guys money, getting them health insurance, having them considered to be serious professional athletes. I don't know if there's anybody ever who will ever compare to what he's done. I just don't think
Well,
he's
he
that
did
good
there.
of a lacrosse
All he
player. He's
did
a
with
hell of a
those-
businessman.
Yeah, but those
absolutely.
guys are all they're not necessarily NLL employees, are they? They're a contract not a 501 shit
No, they're all
Hey,
part owners.
part owners. Oh, they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, the
part owners.
league owns all the teams.
Every
in the PLL.
Right.
You're right. So, and when you become player, you are part owner of the league. You essentially get the stock
Oh, okay.
options type thing. Is like your options are all traded. It's weird with their players. But yeah, technically all the players are part owners of the league. So like once you make the roster, you're technically like a part owner of the league. You are invested in their health insurance. That's how the whole thing works. So like I said, I will never argue that what he's
That's good.
yeah, what he's done for the sport of lacrosse, and not even for that, like what he's actually done for like athletic people trying to make money in a business is set an example that can't be beat. But he just showed you have to put in 10, 15 years worth of work. He put in, 20 years worth of work before any of it paid for itself. He was making YouTube videos every week before he was making a dime. He's got videos of him
he's
running
still
out.
doing it.
Right, and he's got videos of him running out in the woods, throwing balls off of things, telling little kids that you should shoot as hard as you can before you learn to shoot accurately, which is completely asinine, but it's what he's teaching people. And who are you going to listen to, Paul Rabel or Greg Beecher? You're going to listen to fucking Paul Rabel. No doubt.
Right.
But instead, the kid can't hit the broadside of the barn, so that's why the American kids are like, I can shoot 500 miles an hour, but I don't hit the net.
That's about it right there.
But the point I was going to go with is if the NLL was able to do half of what Paul Rabel has done for field lacrosse, the league would take off. Like, twice as
marketing.
many.
Here's the problem, though, is you've got a bunch of business people who are
Want
not
money.
going to put that kind of money out. So, like, Paul Rabel vested his whole, like, everything he had into it. Like, his heart, soul, life. If the PLL went bust, Paul Rabel's done. Nobody ever hears about Paul Rabel again. They have a fucking VH1 in about 15 years about Paul Rabel being drugged out in a dumpster somewhere because he, pissed away all his money. But nobody in the league, there's too much money. So like let's look at the teams that are playing right now. We've got the Calgary Roughnecks taking the Vancouver Warriors. How many people, not counting players, do you think work for the Calgary Roughnecks?
Outside of being on the roster,
Outside, I'm not talking the roster. I'm just talking about how many people do you think you consider the arena? Now they've got 10 extra games. You've got concession stands. You got parking attendants. How many people do you think get a job from the Roughnecks?
Well, for the Roughneck, I mean, I was like, does the Flames own the Roughnecks?
They actually don't. They own 2 hockey teams in the arena, and they don't own the Roughnecks.
Wow.
I think they own the AHL and the NHL team. But I mean, so even if you're talking without the hockey team, you're talking 20, 30 games a year. Like at best with your practices and everything, you're talking 20, 30 rental sessions a year, right? Now you take the PLL. They do it all in the summer when you're not renting your hockey rink. Who are you dumping your money into? All of these markets that they go into, with the exception of Albany, they all have hockey teams. Right?
yeah.
Oh, do they?
I don't
that's
know.
why.
Who doesn't have a hockey team?
I was like, I'm trying to think of all the.
That's what I'm
different
trying to
places.
think of right now, though, is who doesn't. So
I'm
Saskatchewan
pulling up the
doesn't.
schedule right now.
Saskatchewan doesn't.
Well, Albany or Rochester has the Amerks.
Yep.
Oh, you're talking the NLL doesn't have it. I thought you were talking the PLL.
No, I'm
Who
saying the
doesn't have
NLL. Like, which NLL team besides Albany does? Oh, Dobie doesn't have a goal. A hockey team in their arena. Like
Okay,
we talked
I'll
about
pull
this
up-
when we're talking about scheduling, how hard it is
Yeah.
because they aren't the number one tenants in most of these arenas.
Yeah, Albany is, and I know that's a big thing for Albany. I'll go through the list. Albany's primary tenant. Buffalo is not. Calgary is not. Colorado is not. Georgia, I believe, is.
They're at the Gas Arena. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a- that is a
I can
sprint-
definitely tell you there's not an NHL team there.
No, but that's also it's a box lacrosse arena.
Halifax is got to be the primary tenant. up
Yes, they
there.
are.
Vegas is their primary tenant. Yes, they do have a hockey team there, but they don't play. They play.
Different.
I think Vegas plays. Oh no, Vegas isn't the primary tenant. I think they play where the Henderson Knights play now.
Do they?
I think they
Yeah,
play where
they
the
both.
AHL team plays.
Okay.
Ottawa is playing with the Sens. Philadelphia is playing with the Flyers. Oh, Rochester.
Philadelphia couldn't even get their fucking arena when the football team was playing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not even they don't even play in the right arena. So I mean,
Well, it is all
They're
one
side by
complex.
side.
it's all
They're-
one
they're all
sports
side by
complex,
side.
but I mean,
Yeah.
other than sharing a parking lot.
True.
Well, probably workers though too, if you think about it. I'm sure the complex is run under one management system, which uses
Probably.
Joe Bag of I'm going to sell some beer.
But exactly,
cold
like I
beer
said,
here.
so proving our point that the box lacrosse team is definitely not that important to them.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not at all.
You know-
Rochester's up next. Would you consider them the primary tenant?
Nope.
Or,
the Amherst. How many? So an
Amherst by
AHL
far.
team's going to have what? 80 games?
Yeah.
40 home?
No,
50
it's
home?
not that many. Well, I mean, total. They're probably
That's what I mean. So 40 home.
probably less. Probably a little bit less than that, but we can say about 40.
Even 30 is a lot more than 8.
True.
Yeah.
Nine for the NLL,
All
but
right.
yeah.
Who's after the Amherst?
San Diego. I'm pretty sure they're the primary tenant where
Yes. Yes, they are.
they are. We said Saskatchewan. They're primary tenant.
Yeah.
Toronto technically is the primary tenant where they are, but they're
They're in
They're
Hamilton.
just-
They're not even in Toronto. They're like the freaking Giants and the Jets. They don't really count.
So what size arena is that seat?
well, it's a 5,000, another 5,000.
5,000 seat. Well, not for nothing. Albany would look pretty cool inside that nice new re-boarded Utica. Yeah, I could go to more games that way.
Right, but that's a 5,000 seat arena
Yeah.
across the street
Alright.
from a 20,000 street arena. Or I'm sorry, across the river from a 20,000 seat arena.
Where's the 20,000 seat arena?
Buffalo.
And,
Hamilton and Buffalo are
Utica.
no. I was
Yeah,
saying
but
Hamilton and Buffalo are right across the street from me, or across the river from each other.
Oh no, I thought.
Yeah, no, he ain't
I'm
getting a
talking
team. He's
Utica,
trying to.
Albany.
He wants
I'm
Albany
trying-
to go to Utica. Don't help him with this argument, Josh. We'll lose our team.
Well, I mean, I've said I think you got to have the right size arena for your market. And I think the NLL will do a lot better if they would just be willing to go to 5, 6, 7,000 seat arenas instead of the 14, 15, 16,
If
17.
you took the last 2 Firewolves games and put that in the Nexus Center or the Glens Falls Civic Center, it's a packed, full arena that's going nuts, and everybody. Yeah, it's a much better environment. You take that and you put it into there, and what happens?
Well,
I mean,
once again,
I will
once
give-
again, that's a positive for the Albany market is the fact that you have so many schools around the facility or vicinity that has lacrosse. Where in Utica, you bring a market, you only have six schools that have a youth program. Where Albany has thousands of kids playing, you're able to pull off of that attraction much better than a Utica market. No question.
You would think.
Oh, no question. There's no question.
But I will also say for Albany being technically a 14, 15,000 seat arena and you're drawing about 5, you do a pretty good job of pumping up the atmosphere for it being half full.
Yeah.
I gotta
You
give them
do.
credit for that.
You
But I
know,
mean, I like to point out people like to rag on Albany for never having any fans in the arena. You can't tell me that Albany has fewer guys than are currently in Vancouver right now.
Yes.
They've zoomed out and saw the.
I don't know.
arena there.
I'm watching this
Albany
right now,
is
and I don't know if Albany looks so because the top section isn't full. Maybe.
maybe. I don't know that.
I know
Party zone is looking pretty
OJ
packed
sent us a
on both
picture when he was
sides.
out there last time. They also have the top ring covered.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because of the top section covered, it'll be pretty
I think it's
close.
comparable. I will say a lot of Albany fans will sit up higher, so the camera doesn't catch the fans that are up high.
That is one thing. Is a lot of
seat.
people. Yeah, nobody. The tickets get really expensive when you get down by the glass, and unless you're sitting on the glass where you are, it's really not that good of a seat because you end up losing a lot of your view.
Especially on the sides.
Yeah,
I would rather be above the glass, especially watching a lacrosse game.
100%.
If I'm behind the goal, that's great because it's just everything's in front of you. But if I'm on the side, you got to look through the bench or the penalty box. And
Well, plus once you start looking at the sides of the glass, you get the glare and everything else. It just doesn't work right.
yeah, no, I think most people have figured out the glass seats aren't that good, and I got to pay more for a worse seat. No, I'm gonna sit up top.
Yeah.
And that's where people sit in the Albany games. So it looked like when the camera pans, they're like, "There's nobody here." Well, no, they're all sitting outside the camera. I wish the Albany would like put the cheap seats down by the glass and force
Fill 'em
people
in.
down.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
But yeah, no, I'm looking at this arena. You cannot tell me that Albany is drawing less than what's in Vancouver right now.
I don't know. I'll be curious to see we'll have to have you check the attendance numbers for Yeti Talks on Monday because
I'll do it. I find all these
Cool.
teams bloat their attendance numbers way more than Albany does.
Uh.
Well, like they had Panther City drawing basically the same numbers as Albany, and Panther City was drawing a tenth of the people that Albany was drawing.
I don't even know if they were, but some of those Panther City games were pretty brutal to watch. There was like 5 people in the audience.
Those
It's
seats were like burning your corneas. They were so bright.
oh my god, yeah, that was
Like,
rough,
They would
man.
announce like 2,500, and if there was 25 fans in that arena, I'd be shocked.
But I mean, they were doing good at the beginning. And it's like anything else. If your team doesn't consistently win, you just kind of lose interest. And then once it starts to warm up down there, because it warms up so much faster than everywhere else, you could see it. By the end of the year down there, it was just over. Nobody was interested.
I've heard two things about that market. First was they were in Fort Worth, I think they said Dallas was actually going to be a better market for it. And the other thing is lacrosse is actually pretty new in the state of Texas. It's growing. It's the field game that's growing, not the
field
box.
game. Yeah. It's
Nobody knows what box is. I grew up 3 hours away from fucking Onondaga and didn't know what box lacrosse was till 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, and once again, Greg, I'm even closer, and not for nothing, it's not, to say mainstream. It's not the mainstream. The high school coaches aren't wanting to get rid of their kids because most high school coaches are coaching for some sort of club team that's a field club team, which means if I'm not doing box lacrosse, which I was very surprised during that tournament when they came up here, but Albany Power, you don't necessarily around here, you don't see field lacrosse coaches coaching box lacrosse. That Albany, they had many players or coaches that are around the area, and that's what's going to help grow the box game, which you're going to get more fans from. But until the high school coaches start preaching it a little bit more, they're not. They don't want to relinquish the kids and lose
so the
their-
problem
and
is
lose their money.
Right. That's the biggest problem is all those kids, they know if you want to play on the varsity team, you got to go to coach's summer camp. You got to go to coaches. You got to play on coach's summer team. You got to go play here. You got to go play there. You can't go play the best lacrosse, which might be good for high school. But how many Niskayuna kids have gone to UAlbany in the last 3 years?
Oh, well, they've been not for nothing. They're moving them all over the place now.
Niski?
Between
Right. So
Niski kids are all over
that's
now.
right. You've got Niski, Bethlehem, and there's a couple other big programs down there that are running guys. But you would think with Albany Power, how many cities does Albany field when you're talking about for youth sports? So like Albany hockey, I mean, when you consider Colony, Latham, like all of the little areas around it, especially when you consider travel lacrosse or box lacrosse, you're literally drawing all the way almost to Saratoga.
Oh, absolutely. But which is, hey, you got kids that are driving down from the Utica market heading down to play for the the Mountain Men.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
what they are? The
Adirondack Mountain Men. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, that that they want field lacrosse, and it's a whole different game.
And
But
I think-
again, go on.
oh, sorry, Paul. I didn't thought you were done with your thought. I didn't mean to cut you off. You go.
No, there's many thoughts.
No, I was just saying something I find interesting about the Albany market. It's a lot larger than people think, and I guess not necessarily from a population standpoint, but a square footage standpoint. Like in Syracuse, I remember living out there. Like there, it was just Syracuse. Like everything centered around the city of Syracuse. Just the surrounding area, it was only Syracuse. In Albany, you have stuff in Albany, you have stuff in Troy, you have stuff in Schenectady, you got Saratoga.
I was just gonna say though, like Troy is honestly almost just as big of a city. Like when you consider Troy and Schenectady, they're just as big as Albany. Especially if you combine the two of them. So that is one thing, is that the surrounding area. But because of that surrounding area, there's a lot of stuff to do in the area.
Yes, and it's very spread out. And the other thing I found interesting when I was living in Syracuse, 20 minutes was a long drive. Like anything much more about 20 minutes, people were like, I don't want to go do it.
You're not doing it.
In the Albany market, 45 minutes is a short drive. If it's 45 minutes away, I'll do it. And I think that's something that the Firewolves are starting to realize, that we got a market out there.
I drive from Glens Falls.
Mhm.
You know, I'm driving an hour for my season
Interesting
tickets.
market. And I know
Yeah.
I've talked to some of them that said, like, sometimes we have the worst time trying to get people coming from Troy, but at the same point, we'll have people coming from Glens Falls. It's a complete crapshoot.
Yeah, you
But
never
it's the market.
know. Boys,
But,
we've been on this now for 3 hours though.
Wow.
They don't hit the market here in Utica, though. I mean, they've reached out to me in regards to that, but you really don't.
Only
see the
because
market.
you've gotten tickets before. They're not just reaching out to you for no reason.
Right.
Well,
right.
they're reaching out to you because you had the tickets, or they're reaching out to you because the Utica Yeti.
Well, I think it was more because I bought tickets. I mean,
They don't know who the Yeti are, but they have these guys. So like the biggest problem with the NLL is the only league that matters to the NLL is the MSL. And unless you play in the MSL, it doesn't matter to them. And they will be like that until more American players start dominating. So like there's like 3 kids that play in the NABLL that played on that Panther City team. If you took that team and put it anywhere other than Panther City, not one of those 3 kids would have been on that team. But because of the local market, you got 3 practice players. You're not going to pay an extra $1,000 to fly some, 3 guys down that might make the cusp. But now you take that same team and you put them in Buffalo. I don't have that problem. I have enough local talent that I'm not picking any one of those guys.
Greg, you brought up a point right there in regards to the Buffalo. Everybody wants to be Bandit Land. Well, there's a difference between, Albany has the same, obviously it's not the same population size, but, school-wise, everybody plays lacrosse. All the high schools have it, whether it's Buffalo, whether it's Albany, but there's a difference in Buffalo where this is you have again, how many reservations that
That's what I was just going to say. So Buffalo,
generation, they've watched lacrosse, box lacrosse, for their entire life, where most of us, really haven't. All of a sudden, box lacrosse. This is a pretty cool. This is an awesome sport. It's not a generational thing here.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
I've talked. I got coworkers that live out in Buffalo, and they talk about when I grew up. I went to Bandits games. And
Bandits
my
games,
friends
yeah.
went to Bandits games. And
yeah.
my
Well,
parents went to Bandits games because they were going to Bandits games when they were a kid. They've built it up over 30 years.
speaking of which, the Bandits actually do better than the Sabres, so we might want to add that they might not be the primary tenant, but as far as most people in Buffalo are concerned, the Bandits are the primary tenant.
well, you got to do
Winning
that. It's a
sells.
numbers thing. It's a numbers thing again. Again, you got 12 home games versus 40 home games. And that's where you're going to get your numbers in the long run for the Sabres
Yeah,
because
because
they suck.
well,
I'm a Sabres fan, and it's brutal.
if you can
they
draw 5,000 people for 40 games versus 20,000 for 10.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, the sport is. I like it better than hockey. I do.
100%.
It's,
But
thing I
it's an
will
awesome
say-
sport.
And I mean, this is just going to be the city of Albany versus the city of Buffalo. Buffalo has 278,000 population. 99 is 99,000. Albany's 99,000.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Buffalo's almost 3 times the size of Albany.
No question, population-wise, but I guarantee, from the guys that have been, you go to the game, you're probably the people in the stands. You're going to see at least a third of the Bandit Land is from one of the people from the residents.
Yeah,
Without a question.
100%.
absolutely.
Every fourth person, yeah. So out of 100 people, easily 1 out of 4, so 25%, and that is huge though. So versus like
And they
the
love 'em.
indigenous nations though have each had their own box lacrosse team, and so like Buffalo will have one because they're out there, but there's not a lot of youth stuff.
It's growing. I mean,
It's getting bigger, but Buffalo's got, like you said, generations of it. So, I mean, those guys were all playing in Niagara. They were all coming across and going back and forth. And that's just, yeah. No, there's a...
And then you get into the generational thing. You want to know what? Well, most of the kids that are non-native kids, if that's the right way to say it, but how many kids they have a Can-Am program? Well, how many programs are in the East Aurora program for box lacrosse? Probably maybe one, and it's for the youth kids, and it's for 5 to 6 year olds. It's questionable. You got to be able to play.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Owen, how's it going?
What's up, Joe's?
Good. Who just scored?
But I was going to say, going back
Your
to
boys.
the people who go to the Buffalo games from the reservation. Like, they've already established that they're Buffalo fans.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
even the ones further east. Are you pulling any of those to Albany? Probably not. They're established Buffalo fans.
No, everyone from, they're all Buffalo fans. If you go from, so basically the entire Seneca Nation, which is half of the reses on that side, because they make up so many of them, and they're all Buffalo fans because that's where most of the guys play for. OJ, you're just in time for us basically to say goodbye. I got to get your picture up there, though. But, yeah, I've been saying it's
Okay,
past
no
my
worries.
bedtime.
No worries, guys. I get how late it is there, but I just wanted to come in quick.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
figured
was,
you and
Ross.
I thought you and Tan were going to carry the late night game for us and go through and run it.
We're going to call it Blue Scotch West Speed.
Yes, Blue Squad's West Coast.
But how was
No.
lacrosse? You said you were playing a lacrosse game today.
Yeah, I did a clinic with the organization I'm part of. It went really well.
Awesome.
Awesome.
You
Yeah,
didn't break any sticks?
Not this time.
It sounds like you weren't trying hard enough.
And I have
We're gonna break through next time.
I have a new head being done, so I'm good.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't, check out TechLax or OJ the Dude on Instagram, Facebook, and all of his other social media sites. That other TechLax stick, that was pretty slick, bud. That was a sharp stick. Who did that one for you, that last one?
The one I posted in Discord,
Yeah.
that was CS76 stringing. That was my sponsor for that one.
That's a pretty sweet stick.
Yeah.
But
Hey, OJ, I'm gonna head out here, but I want to say great job the other night on Monday running the show.
Oh.
Awesome job, brother.
yes, thank you, OJ.
Buddy. Yeah, no worries. It was interesting, to say the least.
Hey, you know what? One step at a time. Sweet Jesus. Amen.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Awesome.
fellas.
What a matter.
I gotta go because my dog is whimpering and I gotta take the diaper off. We gotta
Oh,
go.
baby. All right, we'll talk to you, Paul.
Peace.
Later, Paul. Good to see you.
All right, OJ, sorry to bounce as soon as you get in, but I'm also going
Yeah,
as
no
well
worries.
because it's way past my bedtime. Josh, you look all fired up. I got to get whatever kind of job Josh has. Look at him. He got all kinds of energy at this time of night.
I was like, I'm not at work anymore, so I'm super happy.
Now you're happy. All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody.
great
We
seeing you
appreciate everybody for tuning in. Josh, OJ, Paul Decker. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
B-Dry System.
you
Water issues in your basement, on your property. Contact Brandon at B-Dry. Inside, outside. They can dry you out. Water no more. Family landscape. Make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. Make your yard Yeti ready. CBI cables. What the pros use. Custom audio, custom video, network and power cables. Built for your needs.